means across the world. Tune into our radio services. Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and Super 95.5. We can also be reached on social media through Facebook or YouTube on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV Live. Locally tune in to Super TV Channel 10. Spoon Talk, Spoon Talk, Spoon Talk, setting Liberia's agenda for national growth. When the ordinary Liberians, home and abroad, are seeking a platform to make a clarion call to their leaders for a hygienic, political, social, and economical landscape in the motherland, there is one platform that is authentic, they always count on. Spoon Talk, the beacon of hope, the fountain of authentic information for this dispensation and dispensations to come. Join the team of panelists Mondays through Saturdays, 8 p.m. locally, 4 Eastern Time, and other timings across the world. Tune into our radio services, Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and Super 95.5. We can also be reached on social media through Facebook or YouTube on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV Live. Locally tune in to Super TV Channel 10. Spoon Talk, Spoon Talk, Spoon Talk, setting Liberia's agenda for national growth.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEOs, Van coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa.
Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you about today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV.
Spoon and your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa.
Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother Tunto Spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia Tunto Spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just Tunto Spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. If you eat K-Pop, congratulate my brother Tunto Spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tunto Spoon. Yeah, Tunto Spoon. You want to get a news update, Tunto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon Spoon TV. Spoon Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment.
Go to there.
A special one from the CEOs, Bantam with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Lazy hand make a man poor, diligent hands bring him wealth. As the saying goes, when you discover your values, you will actually recover from your past. Spoon Talk is here, Spoon Talk is there, Spoon Talk is everywhere. Get a friend to tell a friend that indeed your most informative and reliable platform is here again with another discussion of national concern. This is where you get authentic information that you can use as tools and not to abuse. We do it together. The CEO and the rest of the team will be joining shortly. James Diploma is on the other end with lots of noise. And I'm on the other end in Liberia as your sign coordinator. The name is Rufus Divine Conan. Without much I do, James, good evening and welcome to the voice following. The feasible boy, how you doing?
I'm okay, Rufus. How you doing?
I mean, you will not say
You
you
keep
get by
laughing.
internet. You will not say get by internet.
Who told you when you on this side you can get by internet?
Chief Sim Timberlake George. Hey, it's good seeing you.
You see people in America get by internet. Anywhere you are, you can get by internet.
Hey, gentlemen, how you guys doing? And how's life?
I'm not hearing you. I think I'm going on.
Well, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my end. And what life is just worth living and doing what you can do within your space and time.
Good. You know, just before I came on the show, this country called America, this country is a great country. The former president was just subpoenaed by the General Justice Committee. They voted 9-0 that is subpoenaing him to appear before them. And somebody was telling me this morning about. They said, "Look, Liberia, the U.S. will support you guys, will help you guys. Now, all those who betray the public trust, those who have gotten ill-gotten wealth, said, because the only component, only tenet of democracy, that can sustain a democracy is the rule of law and transparent judiciary, and that they will support any government that will try to ensure that those who got ill-gotten wealth are brought to justice and the rule of law will be enforced. When I saw they voted for Donald Trump to appear before them, I said, wow. Because honestly, that's the only way the culture of impunity will be eradicated. But I see the CEO, the guy is in his corner, chilling. Just that somebody chasing. He said, "No, he said, I'm part of that. I'm part of that."
Sentiment, Josh, man. Yeah, man.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm bad.
Rufus Devon Cannon.
Yes, sir. I reduced my height.
Irreplaceable D. He reduced his height. James Goode.
That may get by done that.
You can't do this to us, James.
How is so?
You can't do this to us, James. We will try to take you from feasible, and you still traveling with the feasible behavior, James.
If it is people still following you.
Yeah. We don't want you to get all of it. You are free, James. Scratch out, move around. You are free. You know,
If it is people still following you.
yeah, man. James, listen, you are free. Free allies. Thank God Almighty, you are free allies. You know, accept it, embrace it. Don't run from it.
Live with it.
Yeah. Left is just for one shot. Opportunities is just for one shot. You know, accept it, James.
And that's what I said. When you discover your values, it will help you recover from your past. The boy ain't discover his value here, so to recover from your past, that is a free.
James, just go outside and look around and just take a deep breath and say, woosah. Look left, look right, look up, look down, and say, in the name of Jesus, I will
I'm
never
free.
return where I came from. I'm not talking about your country, I'm talking about your beginning. So accept it and run with it. Yeah. Right? But stay, just, you know, go ahead. Your internet not working will take you off. The man still think that he's in Spoon Talk Studio, Georgie.
But the man in an advanced vocation,
I can't understand the thing. I'm telling you, I say, listen, accept it and just run. Be happy. But it may stay acting like in Spoon Talk Studio. So listen, you know what? Let me look around. Georgie, if you can have a couple of
I know, right? Yeah, I know you over there. He's still the same.
You know, listen, that's the thing. He just need a couple of spinning here and there, he will be balanced.
I know he say no that he's still the same.
Man, I shouldn't get myself in trouble on Thursday evening. We first don't do that. Yeah, James, you gotta be. You gotta be. Judgy, the PJ gotta go to a couple of one or two, you know.
I know. He's still the same. He's still the same.
Man. You gotta change mentor and all the stuff, then he will be fine. Oh man, yeah, we wasn't on air last night, Emmett. We had electrical panel issue. Our panel board got burned and we had to change it. So to all of our followers, you know, we had that issue and we are back on all the radio station, Fabric, Support, Spoon. Thank you guys for being patient. Listen, James got money to get the best internet in Europe. We know he trying to act like he going to the Kobo shop, Lababido. No Lababido there. James still thinking that he eating Laba. You know, James can cook his own food, Georgie, and take the Lapa and put it on the dough.
Wow.
And say, I got to create my own Lababido. He got to get all of that mindset, Rufus. He got to get all of that mindset. You know, James reminds me of this woman, Lot Webb. You know the story. Took Lot and his entire family, said nobody should look back. Now you are going to the land filled of milk and honey.
Wait, see, before you finish, man, please check your phone and ask the guys to check on us on that story.
Yes, it's true.
They confirm?
We'll discuss it. Let me take this call. Now you're saying that I got to take this call.
Yes, that's a breaking news though. But anyway, politics is bad. Yeah, politics is interesting. Yeah, I just got that information. Yeah, but anyway. Wow. Politics are bad too. You know, I was saying it, man. And Rufus, let me ask you, you taking advantage of the DV?
Well, some kind of will go over that. We will take advantage. And
Man, it ends November 5th. People,
yeah,
you
get it.
you never know. So I want people try a lot.
We get that.
You know, when I was in Liberia, our friends kept coming to the States. Somebody would win, their parents, their family would fight for them. This one would come in the States. So, and I said, that U.S. embassy there, because I went there, the first time I went there, my cousin, myself, and somebody went there first time went there, I think I was 97? 97? No, 98. Went there, they gave Iron Koto. the guy said, the conference are going for, by the time I get there, the conference will be over. So by the time I arrived in the States, the conference will be over. So nobody gave me all the visa. I said, what? I told the guy, I said, but everything will be, he said, nah. He said, first of all, you don't have direct flight from Liberia to America. First of all, so when the minute you get to your connecting flight and so forth, the conference will be over. You'll be arriving the last day of the conference. What benefit? So I said, okay, wait. So with that, the following year now, we're prepared now. Yeah. When the guy gave me 3 months visa. But then get what happened? They had a Y2K song. They say, oh, Y2K. If anybody getting a plane before 2000, they were entering a new millennium. The plane will just crash in the air. So because of that, I never left Liberia until 2000 January. From November, I got my visa in November. I went there 2000 before I left. I said, what? The plane when I'll be the case study for that plane.
Yeah, they said the plane would disappear.
Yeah. So yeah. I went there a few weeks my visa left, I left the country. I said, what?
So it's funny, one of the stories we're about to tackle is the dismissal of Rudolph Cooper.
Yeah, Randolph
Cooper. Randolph Cooper actually got dismissed because of certain recording.
Oh, right.
Certain recording. And so what we're going to do, we'll wait a little into the program. We'll play the recording for folks to hear. He got dismissed because but you know him, right, Centumali?
Yeah, you're from the guy. You want to
talk to us. Tell us a little about him.
Yeah, during the early days of the revolution, he supported Charles Taylor. He one of the spokespersons. He used to be on the VOA and BBC, and then he joined Taylor in Banga during the war, and he became I think he became head of RIA and so forth. But now, I think he was just appointed the board chair for LPRC by President Weah. But I don't know what it had to do with the issue that happened at the convention. Whether that's where his removal comes from. Whether he was supporting the Bani faction, I don't know, because I'm hearing that.
No, we're gonna Judge. I just want you to tell the folks who's this guy is. We got a recording on him. We're gonna play the recording. He actually went crazy from that convention thing. And something I'm trying to figure out, look, President George, we are just not playing. Maybe I'm wrong though. Sintumane. It's like everybody that go against Madam Taylor, he cut them loose. Not in a bad way, but if you speak like the other gentleman that was insulting her, from the Freeport?
Yeah, from the Freeport.
Yeah. He let him go. He had that special characteristic that do not insult your leader, you know. You can disagree, but do not insult. And there's the second dude now from the NPP camp that he cut loose. So can you tell us that he's on the side of Madam Taylor? Is he?
I don't know what if the guy who was cut loose from the port, I heard he was supporting the Bani faction. But this Randolph Cooper guy, I'm trying to still
I'm gonna play the clip. Let me say the clip. You listen to it, but either or, these guys then were actually, if you know, it's something about that, my man, that he caught this guy loose. Also, it's like the person is frustrated, in a sense that what the hell you be causing Madam Taylor.
And you understand too that the president is going to re-election, and Madam Taylor is his running mate. So he will do everything in his power to protect her and to show that because from what I gathered, they were trying at a convention. They were trying to make Mrs. Madam Agnes Taylor the stand-up bearer. I mean, I don't understand how you could do that in an election year where the present political leader of the MPP is the sitting vice president and running on the re-election ticket of the president. So I don't know. It really didn't make any sense to try to remove her or have a primary where she could have perhaps lost.
No, but the president have the right to stick with her.
Yeah,
she's the stand-up bearer till next year. Number one, she's the vice president to the nation. She, on the ticket with the president, no if and a but. I don't see President Weah changing her. The question will be, why do you want to change her? So I think they stand to say, if you go after her, then you're coming after me. But my question to you, Sintumani George, do you think it's in the right direction? It's action.
Well, I'm getting information from the MPP from the MPP group now that Ronald Cooper supported the Bani faction. So perhaps this is why perhaps his missiles maybe may come from because he supported the Bani faction. But my thing is that I know they had a problem going to the convention, and the vice president had no choice but to ensure that convention was held, because she not being involved with that convention. My understanding is that they would have had a convention, and perhaps they would have come out with a primary to primary her, and perhaps you can never tell, she could have been a victim of that primary, and maybe somebody else would have won. So for her, but the convention was held, and you saw what happened, and so Councillor Stanley McLean became the chairman of the. I mean, according to what from the.
But that's a chairman that you can argue about.
It's controversial right now, so.
Yeah, but the thing is that Kev Hassan, welcome. Thank you for joining us, and you guys seem like you're on time. You guys, y'all were speaking to each other tonight. You guys just coming as if to say that y'all decided to come on time.
No,
it's kind of
strange. You know how we show, man. Why you always got to bring conspiracy theories?
I was trying to run a little late. Tomlin called me, and
I see. Yeah, it's kind of strange for me to see you coming on the show on time today. This is entrapment, Kev. These guys are supposed to be taking a trip to Minnesota. They're trying to sweet talk me. That entrapment, yeah. Kev, don't believe this thing. Look at it.
How many men delegation were going with Dominic?
Wow. Kev, get head in delegation.
How many delegation were going with?
Get head in delegation.
Powerful delegation.
Tommy said I should come on time. I'm like, Tommy, why is he just come on time? I don't know. That's why I'm here.
But so Kev, let me hear from you. I'm receiving an audio from Randolph Cooper, the president, to ask him to leave the LPRC board chair. The position that Ben Sevi held for 2 days. I received information. President John Weah is a bad dude.
See, the guy was Bani right-hand man. And Ronald Cooper, he was Bani right-hand man and also treasurer.
But that's the thing I'm saying. I'm kind of confused because you know what? You remember we had it on the show, and we're talking about the $35,195. Somebody was eating the money. So when that secret came up, then somebody went loose. But let me play the clip, right? Let's play this clip. I think Rufus, can you play this for us? Then I will hear from Kev Hassan, chairman. Let the folks know exactly what we are saying. Rufus Divan, please. Rufus. Somebody please wake Rufus up. Rufus.
I'm here.
Yeah, my man. We got an answer. They tell
I've
you, if
been
a person
answering.
can see you, and like blind people, they can see you. The only thing they will know if you answer. But can
I've
you
been
play the clip?
answering.
You got the clip. Just play it. It comes only by way of the audio, no video. And there's the voice. Babe, you know, Randall, right? Kev Hassan, man, the president is on a speed with this NPP thing. I really want to know who is going to benefit, though. I really want to know who would benefit from this thing. Rufus, play. Just tap on it. It's ready.
Yeah, let me get it the jack into it and stuff and get it play quick. Just few seconds. Okay.
And this is second. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it volume. Give it volume.
Yeah, but I was sign agreement in November. What kind of foolishness is that?
Go back. Play it from the beginning, please.
We're fool. Y'all think we're gonna do it? I'm gonna do it to people. Y'all fighting for because somebody in their mind, in their mind, was sign agreement in November. What kind of foolishness is that? What kind of foolishness is that? Mind was sign agreement in November. We're who? We're fool. I know better. Inside the road, Georgia, the mistake we made the last time, they don't know what mistake we made.
Wow.
The mistake we made the last time, we could make the same mistake again.
No,
you think I feel good? You think I feel good? Money feel good? All the parties think I be giving them money, we can't find a job for them. You think you feel good? You think I feel good? You think I feel good? We got people who were up there in the bush who are struggling, who are getting one cent. Now can they got no jobs? They don't people about it. Because suppose where they are spending their money, like got by here, spending their here, they're lucky they got money. But me, I'm going to be hot party with them. I go to where they do. Plus, any political party before. You never been political party before. You know political party runs? You know it operates? You know the fucker's idea. So this time, because the girl looking fine now, everyone jump behind her. Let go behind her. Let go behind her. I got patience. I got patience. For me, I got loyalty. I'm loyal to my party. The time.
All right. That clip is too long, but we want to give you guys a chance. The doctor, how many people, folks? We are all here by 6:30 tonight. I just want to let you know you don't have to buy extra data for your phone. Our show time is from 4 to 6 o'clock, 30 minutes phone calls. I don't care if kept arguing, Mariah going to come and argue. I really don't care. We will be all of here by 6:30. You know, we're getting too tired and hungry. We got to keep some energy for 2023. We will be all of here by 6:30. 6:30, if you see us still on 6:30, don't join us tomorrow. 6:30, that will be 10:30 in Liberia.
Correct,
Paco. Past 10:30. We have to give the people a time that they desire. They will want more next time. If we pass 10:30 Liberian time, don't join us tomorrow.
No, let me tell you, would they may have a barbecue that he's going to do the evening? You put it time. Baku, barbecue the evening. You're not buying meat. You're not seeing it. You're not seeing meat.
Everything ready there. That means also keep you. That means also keep you for 10:35. Listen, guys. But Kevin, let me talk to you. Rufus, play this thing one more time. I'm trying to get this. Rufus, please play it one more time. I beg you. Send that to Peabody just joining us. Play this again, Rufus. Yeah, Rufus, play it one more time.
Y'all think we're gonna do it? I'm gonna do it to people. Y'all fighting for because somebody in their mind, in their mind, was sign agreement in November. What kind of foolishness is that? What kind of foolishness is that? Mind was sign agreement in November. With who? With who? I know better. Inside the road, Georgia, the mistake we made the last time, they don't know what mistake we made.
Wow.
The mistake we made the last time, we could make the same mistake again.
No,
you think I feel good? You think I feel good? Money feel good? All the parties think I be giving them money, we can't find a job for them. You think you feel good? You think I feel good? You think I feel good? We got people who were up there in the bush who are struggling, who are getting one cent. Town can got no job to do people with money. Because support whatever, spending the money. Like I got here, 10 years here. You're lucky they got money. For me, I got your whole party with them. I go collapse it. I will get party and go swear to do. Plus, any political party before. You never be political party before. You know political party runs? You don't operate? You got the fuckers idea. At this time, because the girl looking fine now, everyone jump behind. That go behind. That go behind. I got patience. I got patience. For me, I got loyalty. I'm loyal to my party. The time.
So, Kev Hassan, President, we have chopped this one. He said, I'm tired of hearing that audio. The man got to go.
You know, listen to you, and not only for this gentleman. If anybody think they're going to disrespect the vice president and they will get away with that, they will not. Don't disrespect the vice president.
That's right.
She is the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. She deserves all the respect. So if you think you're going to disrespect the vice president and the president going to sit down and allow you to do that, you're in the wrong place. And my message to our people, don't disrespect this woman. Don't do that. If you're going to disrespect her, there's consequence for you. So I believe I'm siding with the president. What the president did is in the right direction to respect. Imagine folks insulting women bats on the vice president. Are we that low? I'm glad that the president is going to take a stand. I'm glad that the president is going to put his foot down on those people. Go and do it somewhere. But the vice president deserves a respect, and she's the vice president. Let's respect the office, man. Disrespecting the vice president, attacking, you want this, you want that, you want this. So for me, CEO, the president is in the right place. It's a message to those who want to disrespect or attack. Imagine people want to attack the vice president. Seriously? I think they should be arrested, some of them. Not only fire. So I believe that the president is in the right place, and what the president is doing, I totally agree with what the president is doing, and to put some sanity and with respect on this lady, not because she was a man. Will you do that to him? Will you do that to him because she's a lady? So I believe the president is what the president is doing is putting some respect to the office of the vice president, and aside the president on it. Kudos, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. And whoever try again will get the full weight of the law. So thank you, Mr. President, what you're doing. Don't disrespect the office of the vice president. Don't do that. You have an in-house. You have an in-house. Go and talk it there.
Oh, thank you, Kev. Thank you. Dr. Peebles, let me bring you. I'm going to keep Ben for last. You know, there's a reason. But Dr. Peebles, let me ask you though. The last time we had a Secretary General and Lomax on the show, Mr. Peters and Lomax, right? And they said they were going beyond Jade, beyond closed door to try to, hash things up and discuss issues. Do it peacefully and quietly, involve Jimmy and Madam Vice President. Just after that, the president fired the dude from the porch. Now he went to LPRC. Cooper is gone. I understand words. I'm not going to ale profaki. I'm not going to say words are meant to be used. But where is this president, man? Is he now, have he crossed the line to enter into the conventional certain of NPP? Is he in the right direction?
Now you see, 2023 is coming, so we want to see, like Tony always said from the beginning, in the next 100 something days, like 365 days, a lot is going to take place. So, what I'm looking at today, I'm so happy to hear that the vice president is finally being given these uh, 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 uh,
Protection.
protection now.
Yeah.
She's been protected. They are going and ensuring that she have her right place, and I'm glad to see that because I know there were one time and she was on this show, and when we asked her if everything was fine, and she could not answer, you could see the her face, how that she was overwhelmed. She just didn't know what to say. She was tired. I'm glad today that she can smile again. She got all the respect she wants needed, and everything is coming to her. In the next 365 days, like Tumini has said, a lot is going to change. So Tumini, we got kudos to you for that statement. But it's really I'm really happy to see that now. But 7-8 months ago, it was a different board game. She couldn't go near the mansion. She couldn't
Before I get to tomorrow, listen, you make some point here, but I will ask you a question coming back though. Before we get to tomorrow, let's welcome our sister Antonin Kou, the Labran Guillaume Mano Preboge. Yakula. Welcome, Anthony Yakula. How you doing?
Thank you. How you guys doing?
All is well. Good to have you. Dr. Richardson is off today, Thursday. She work. So we'll be seeing Dr. Richardson tomorrow. Probably not, because the ANC convention is taking full swing, and maybe so we'll miss our folks. Richardson, Yakula, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe they will take this thing to Monday for barbecue at the back of Tiola Gibson home. Who knows? But anyway, let's get back to the show. Georgie, I want to play this thing for you to understand. Cooper, Randolph Cooper, right? It's something that you got to know that he's mad. He's not happy. So San Anthony Yakula just came on. Let me put his picture up, and I will ask Rufus to play this. You will speak, Ben will speak, then we'll go to Mariah. Has the president not crossed the line? Is he entering into other territory, of NPP? Are the guys not free to express themselves? The relationship, is he now saying, I can protect Madam Joy Howard Taylor, I must protect Madam Joy? Or is this just another political day stunt for election? Well, I asked you so many questions, but take anyone.
Well, the first thing I get is straight. Madam Taylor is a sitting vice president, and she's the political leader of the MPP. And my understanding is that she has invested a lot. She's the one who carrying the financial burden, I'm told, of the MPP. She's the one who, putting most of the bills and so forth. So I think she deserves respect and from the membership and the officials. However, don't forget now, Randolph Cooper. These are one of the strong lieutenants of former President Taylor. Okay, these are one of the guys who President Taylor then all came with the MPP together. They've been together from the America days. So they have close ties and so forth. They're close all together. But the question we should be asking, because take it or leave it, President Taylor, that's why he's being in jail. He still runs the affairs of the MPP. He still controls the MPP. So the question will be asked, which side is he on? Depending on which side he's on, that should bring a belt for the contending parties. Because if he's supporting the vice president the leader of the party right now, then you know that they are on the right trajectory from the MPP end. If not, if he's supporting the other guys, it's a problem. Because remember, when Taylor spoke from prison that year, I think a year for the election, and he said all MPP, all partisans should march along and go along with the CDC. That was that powerful statement that brought them to the CDC, and it helped to get a lot of votes in the area Taylor were popular in. So, but I don't know whether the action of the president today against Mr. Cooper, whether it will backfire or not, I don't know. But gotta watch and see what happens in the coming days. And as I said, depends on who the former president is supporting. If he still supporting Madam Taylor side, then I think there will be no problem. But if not, I see it's a problem for the CDC coalition.
Chairman, I think somebody just raised a good point over here, though, and you know better than some of us on the show tonight. The firing of this guy, Cooper, another gentleman from the Freeport of Monrovia, and President, we are defending Madam Joa Howard Taylor. The issue that took place, Madam Taylor now have a new chairman, something almost like the Liberty Party. So, Chairman, talk to Liberians tonight. I mean, what's your thought? You know, well, when you talk about NPP, you know them. So talk to us.
I don't know the way he can put me in these positions, but it's okay. First of all, it's good to see you guys. Let me say a couple of things are happening here, and I think I hear where Tourmaline is coming from. But let's also be cognizant of who replaced Mr. Cooper, and that gives you a line.
Yeah, that's true.
Atosay is.
I beg you 1 minute, please. I know you said so. I want you to tell the folks again. Someone they are asking Mr. Cooper position in NPP prior to his dismissal.
He was the treasurer. The treasurer. Remember, Andrew Peter said treasurer.
Correct.
The treasurer.
Thank you.
You saw even on the bank statement, he was correct. The first 30,000 I was deposited was through Randolph Cooper.
And we got it. We're going to show it
exactly. But let me say this: a couple of things are happening here. There's a lot of moving parts, and when in politics. I've always warned and I always said politics is dynamics. There are no permanent enemies in politics. There's permanent interests. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. If you see who replaced Mr. Cooper, it can tell you the train of thought. Atosay is extremely close to former President Charles Taylor. He is, in fact, I think he's the person who is, we're even going further. I think he's as close as it gets. The second thing is, I think there's a lot of things that there's some power play happening here. It is cast in stone now. Obviously, if there was any doubt, if there will be a Weah Joel ticket, I think that doubt is now gone. I think President Weah has made a decision who his running mate is going to be, and is going to be his vice president. The second thing is, I think that there's still going to be a lot of backroom conversations going on in regards to resolving the MPP crisis. But I think what's happening here also is the carrot and stick approach. There is a carrot and stick approach going on here. And then there is also power play. Listen, I think what happened during the convention was unfortunate. I saw a bunch of videos with people insulting the vice president. I didn't see a video with Mr. Cooper insulting her, but I did listen to that audio that you were playing. And he was the chairman of the board, at least as of a couple of hours ago before he got fired. The truth of the matter here is this. The President Weah has made a determination that, he's going to protect his vice president. Now, people, I know everybody is clear. It's been well documented that there was a lot of rocky relationship between the president and the vice president. But look at the vice president's latest post on Instagram. It also tells you where she and the president is right now. And I've said to a lot of people, even people in government, I'll borrow Cyril Allen word, functionaries in government, right? You don't want to put your mouth between presidents and vice presidents. It's always not a good thing, because the truth of the matter is those two people, any president, any vice president, they're on the same ticket. They were elected together, right? And at the end of the day, they have that bond. And in our constitution, the president cannot fire the vice president, except the president, because the president reserves the sole prerogative to decide who he wants to be his running mate. And I think, like I said, that decision has been made. And I think what you've seen happen here is some power play. Some power play because President Weah is also sending a message to the folks who are negotiating right now within the MPP crisis. Know where you cast your lot, because this is where I stand. who is the president of Liberia. Remember, there are a lot of members of the MPP, or a lot of people in the government who got jobs on behalf of the MPP came as a result of Chairman Bani, right? Because Chairman Bani had very, very close relationship with former Minister McGill. So a lot of these things are happening and a lot of moving parts are going on. But as we continue to see this thing evolve, I can tell you, I do know that there's a lot of conversations going on, and in the end, they will figure this thing out. They will find a way to kind of smooth it out. But there's a power play here, and the president is using his greatest weapon. He is an incumbent president, right? He is somebody who has the ability and the power to fire and to hire. And that's what I think is going on here. Again, like I said, look at the person who he replaced Randall Cooper with. That also tells you the train of thoughts and the way things are going.
So you are saying replace at LPRC?
Yes.
Not NPP, but
no,
LPRC.
No. LPRC is
okay. So he just replaced him.
He just removed him from the board, as chair of the board, and replaced him with Mr. Arthur C., who is a very close confidant of former President Charles Taylor.
Anthony Yakula, this thing is spinning like crazy right now. Are we seeing another Liberty Party?
Well, that's for us to find out in the coming days. But I think first, Dr. Bibalo mentioned, and I think it's very funny when you have seditionists and supporters of this government talking about protecting the vice president. We've clearly, we're not going to encourage any disrespect to the vice president or any female leader, but I think it's hypocritical when people who subjected the vice president to public ridicule, refused to pay her salaries, removed EPS details from her security protection, failed to provide gasoline for her vehicles and gave her a budgetary allotment. And we saw all of the public embarrassment, disrespect, and insult to the office of the vice president and to her as an individual. And today, Kev wants to sit on this show and play God. I mean, come on, let's be real. What we heard on that tape, I didn't hear the entire tape, but what I heard may not have been something, that anybody will applaud. But at the end of the day, disrespect are disrespect. And so neither of it should be encouraged. And for the president or the CDC to today act as though they are the gladiators of the vice president is hilarious. And you can see that the only reason they're doing this, of course, is personal. They're trying to keep the faulty coalition intact. It's clear that there's not just a crack, but a huge division in the coalition. Matter of fact, the agreement signed by the three parties in 2017 is up for evaluation, is up for conversation. And what's happening is that the Biden side now is looking into that to see whether or not they should even renew the coalition agreement. And of course, the WEA and the CDC side wants to support Madam VP now and want to prove that they're taking her as their running mate, when in fact, for the last 3 or 4 years, they've sidelined her and treated her with gross disrespect. But going into the elections, this, 365 days or 63 days, whatever it is, they now want to protect her because they want to protect the coalition that's falling apart. Because this is what all of this is about. Biden has made it clear that as chair, given the 2 conventions held, and I think it's important for people to understand what is happening. They went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said the chairman of the party and the executive committee has the right to host the convention. And so Biden went ahead to plan his convention. In fact, they had to reduce the number of delegates to the convention because they could not raise the funds to have all of the 600 delegates come in. So they had to reduce it to about 50%, to about 300 delegates. When the convention started, the vice president came with her delegates and they refused for them to enter because they were not considered or in the planning process. And so the violence broke out. They ended up having 2 different conventions at the hall. The vice president held her convention outside the Painesville City Hall. Barney had his convention inside the Painesville City Hall. And they both came out with 2 different leaderships. Now, when we're talking about political parties, we have to understand that political parties are ran by the chairman and the executive committees. And the sooner we realize that these, parties are headed by chairman and executive committees and not political leaders or individuals, the better we'll be able to address some of these issues. So today, if Barney is saying that his leadership that was elected is the leadership of the MPP, and the CDC is saying they're not going to recognize it because they recognize the vice president's leadership, it clearly shows a division in the coalition. And the only reason they're doing this is because they want the coalition document to be renewed. They want this coalition to be intact, and they know there are problems. For 5 years, and let me just conclude. For 5 years, they've sidelined members of the NPP. They've sidelined other members of the coalition. They've only given jobs to the Congress, members of the Congress for Democratic Change. They've only given respect, relevance to members of the CDC. They've treated the coalition members as though they were not part of the coalition. And because they want to go into the second 2023 now, they want to then act like, oh, we're in a coalition. And now you realize that
I don't want people to forget. You're making a lot of interesting points. I will bring in Kev, but let me go to Chairman Ben. Chairman, did the issue about, because we have Madam Taylor on the show, she couldn't answer people the question. Are you okay? Are you satisfied? She had trouble with that question before. Is the treatment given to you by President Weah, McGill, and the CDC folks? Are you happy? She said we will see. She told us we will see. How can now this government say it is all well? We have had this good utopia come to Jesus moment. How? You are muted, Chairman. Unmute. Then we'll go to Kev.
So, and let me say this: it is well documented. I don't think there is any fallacy here that there has been a rough patch between the president and his vice president over the last couple of years. But like I keep saying, they are tied to the hip, and I think what is happening here is politics. I'm sorry. Maybe people we can say it the way we want to say it, but politics is happening here. Listen, you heard Cyril Allen on this show say the other day, the MPP has made, and I want to believe that's why I want to believe in the end there is a conscious effort and a decision that's going to have to happen here. The issue here is, where is the MPP going to cast its lot? The vice president is the standard bearer of the National Patriotic Party. She is the sitting vice president. In the end, a determination on whether should we stay or should we go. You heard Cyril Allen make the analogy of being in the senior class and demoting yourself to go to the junior class. I think that's what is happening here. All of what has happened in the past is definitely a determination that I think the vice president took into consideration. But we should also be cognizant.
Are you telling us now? You're telling LeBron that President Weah and Taylor have passed that time? It's all good now. It's yummy.
I'm not telling you. What I'm saying to you.
I just need your view because
let me say this. I'm responding to what I have seen. I saw the latest post from the vice president on Instagram. Remember, it was a very Instagram post that she used, her very Instagram page. She used to post things, right? The last post I saw from the vice president was telling the opposition to get ready. So what I'm saying is, what is happening here is politics. Politics is at play. And remember, Joa Taylor is a politician. She's a politician. So she had a choice. She could have made a determination and say, you know what? I was treated over the last couple of years. Okay. But guess what? This is what I want to do.
I think what she has done and what she is going to be doing is making the best decision based on her political survival and what she intends to do and how she intends to move forward. Because
take it back. Let me bring you another.
1 second before I land.
Yeah.
So let's just throw an hypothesis out there. If the vice president were to leave the coalition for democratic change, where is she going to go? Where is she going?
Well, we'll have that question. You are asking those questions. You are asking those questions that are coming up, Chairman. Let me play this clip real quick. I gotta play this clip.
Okay. No, before you play the clip though. So the vice president is focused more on her personal political life than on the party. Because if the vice president has benefited and people in the party like
Mariah.
So you're taking a strike with this thing. I beg you guys. I really got to play this stupid tail clip. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. I beg you. Kev, I'm coming to you. I beg you. I got to play stupid tail. It's gonna add to the discussion. Rufus, play this clip from Stupid Taylor.
Sam Nimley. I haven't spoken. I think we've talked on the telephone. Some things are very emotional. There are people who died for this party, and some people who've lived for this party. So it is an emotional thing when these things are happening. You know the beginning of what happened. You know what transpired. Even if Jewel Howard is president of the Republic of Liberia, which she isn't, let us be fair and see when something is wrong, it's wrong. We heard the tape. Okay? I don't care. I have confronted Jewel. Was Jewel there when this party started? I don't care what any of our goons would say. If you work for something from its infancy, you don't want to see it go down in flames. Okay? You don't want to see it go down in flames. So let us be fair and factual and say the truth. We always, in Liberia or in, I don't know, people don't say truth to power. This is wrong. I heard the tape. You think people died for something like this to go to dust? You know how many people died for this revolution? Some of these people who are just Johnny come lately, and they are benefiting. I don't care what anybody says. This is wrong, and it is wrong. I'm sitting here shaking to see.
We must pause that thing. We got another side to that clip. Let me bring in the guys. Thank you, Rufus. Just pause it real quick. Let me, before I go to Kev Hassan, Sentumani George, who is Stupid Taylor?
Madam Stupid Taylor, she's a former, actually, I don't know, I'm not sure. Yeah, she's former wife of President Taylor, I think, one of his former wife, and she was with him during the initial stage of the revolution. Now, get this now. Tupi and they were Taylor during the early days of the revolution, the MPF revolution. So she's well known in the Taylor cycle. She's well known within the MPFL, MPP hierarchy. They know her very well and so forth. And I mean, you're asking a question, so I'm gonna just stop right there. Yeah.
Thank you, because I know I want you to help our folks. We got another clip coming up. This story today is all about people speaking. We will not make up story for you because you know what? We're setting this thing for Madam Jewel Howard Taylor. She'll be appearing on Spoon Talk next week. And we want you to understand this thing is getting, we have had so many clips today coming up. Kev Hassan, real quick, because I want to go back to Mariah Ben and it's Sentumani George and Peabody. But this NPP, something is happening. I am hearing, Kev, and I will say this to you. Everybody within the Taylor cycle except Madam Jewel Howard Taylor support Jimmy. And somebody can prove me wrong. Every one of the Taylor's family except Madam Joy Howard Taylor, support Jimmy. What's happening?
I think the daughter, I think Zoe, the oldest daughter supports Joe, I think.
No, that's what I'm saying. I stand to
Okay.
be corrected, and I want you guys to speak on it when we come to you. You can correct me. I have the list. I have everything here, and somebody coming up next speaking on it as well. But Kev, talk to me real quick. Let's see who's who's. The action of the president. Is it in line with NPP? Is it in line flowing with Charles Ganga Taylor? Talk to me, Kepiko.
Listen, CEO. We have to be aware of, cognizant of family issues right there. It's one place I don't want to go. Family issues. Tupi Taylor, Joel Taylor. That's not a that is not a place I want to go. It's a family issue down there. So it's beyond politics. I think people should not play politics with that. So something there that I would not go. But let me go back to what Mariah said earlier on. Mariah explained about what happening, stuff that going on within the NPP. Some stuff that she explained, not out there. How did Mariah know that?
It's reported by Front Page. Read your news.
Mariah, no. How did
Mariah give him a chance? Mariah give him a chance.
I can send you the link. Because
Mariah, go get him chance.
Read it.
Mariah, give Kev Hassan chance that he finish up.
But let's clarify that first.
No, but you were coming. You can make your correction when we get back to you, please. Kev, go ahead, flow.
How did Mariah know some of those things? A couple of days, people talk about the Bani people reaching out, comments people reaching out to the Bani people, right? Mariah said some things.
That's what Mariah said, you read your newspaper. I know where you're going.
It's called research. Learn.
Still.
I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead, my brother.
Then
sorry.
Mariah there now, man.
Sorry. Man, how you looking at the guy? No, I knew. I forgot. I didn't know where you were going with this thing. But go ahead, Kev.
Come on now. Yeah. I always say this. When I go and Mariah have a rebuttal from other folks. When when they say something, there's no rebuttal from other folks. Let's have a fair deal. Mariah says some things, not what Front Page Africa saying. She says some inner circle stuff. That tells me that they're engaging to destabilize the NPP. And that's a fact. She explaining, not what Mariah explaining. She says something from Page Africa, but she says some inner circle things. Mind you, she's the chief of staff of Mr. Cummings. And Mr. Cummings' face, which is Louis Brown, stated on our show, we are going to destabilize the NPP. And I quote, I'm in talk with the hierarchy of NPP. So this is not a joke. She's saying some stuff. And that's what they are doing. And that's what they are doing. So I listen to her carefully. Some stuff, I back those stuff that she's saying. How Mariah knows some of this stuff? The Brownie people need to answer to that. They need to come out and answer, how did the chief of staff of Mr. Cummings know stuff that happening within the circle of the NPP? So they are trying to destabilize the NPP. There comes Madam Taylor. There comes Madam Taylor's try to strengthen and hold the NPP. And that's why you see the woman is fighting out there to put the NPP together, because that's one of the pathways for those people to destabilize different political parties. So Madam Taylor, she's out there to strengthen and fight for the NPP to remain strong. So if you will hear what the commissar is all about, destabilizing. Oh, we're happy. Oh, man, they are anti-Madam Taylor as we speak. Listen to them. So we're not stupid here. All this woman is doing to put a party together for us to have a strong unit to defeat them. To defeat them. The pathway is to destroy it. So I'm listening to her. I'm listening. Some of the things about those things. So how did she know that? The Bonny side need to explain. They need to explain. And that's what this stuff is about. I don't want to go into Pete Taylor's stuff. It's a family stuff. I will not go there. I will not speak on it.
So Stanton, can I come in a little bit?
Let me hear from Peabody.
No, but
bring it in. No, but Peabody got to speak. Oh,
yeah,
Peabody got to speak.
Just directly.
Y'all will come in, but let Peabody go ahead.
Yeah, but that's sure they're not Kevin Mariah as well.
Yeah, but nobody make the Kevin Mariah, but he made accusations that we got to address. Now everybody not forget what he said. So the one thing I think Kevin.
Okay, but Mariah, hold on now, Mariah, you know, Mariah, then you know what you do. Mariah, you know what you do. Ask Peabody for his time.
Dr. Peabody, may I? Thank you.
What
are some of the backdoor things that I said?
I don't have time to go into that. You know, man.
No,
I don't have time for this, man.
I want you to say. No,
I don't have time for this, man. You know, Mariah, you and I know what you're doing, man.
Yeah, what are the backdoors? Okay, you can say.
You and I know what you're doing. Your stuff the joke.
You know why you can say?
You can fool the audience. You can fool us, man.
Let me speak.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Let me speak.
Go around to political parties to destabilize political parties.
So hold on, Mariah. Are you answering Mariah's question? Because if you cannot answer, then allow her to speak.
I answer her. She know. She knows exactly what she said.
Then thank you. Mariah, go ahead. Thank you, Kev. Thank you, Kev. Kev Hassan, thank you. Mariah, go ahead now.
No, I don't know what the backdoor things that you're talking about, because everything I said on the show was reported in allafrica.com. I sent the link to Stanton. The reason you can say what are those things that were the backdoor things is because when you say it, we'll go back to the story and we'll read it right out of the story. Kev, when you come on the show, do your research. Learn to read, learn to keep up with the news in Liberia, learn to read your newspapers, learn to read online news, learn to do your research so that you're on top of the issues that you discuss.
You said it, Mariah. You said it. You said it.
I'm
you
speaking.
said it on the show.
I'm
speaking. said it on the show.
Every single thing that
I said they were going to destabilize us.
Kev, listen. You are not being Kev, listen. You are not being fair. Kev, listen to me. Kev, please.
My man, we got only 2 hours. So maybe I said
I do not want to do this because we have a good program. We have to speak one at a time. Listen, I will beg you guys, please. Please. We're having a good program. If you cannot answer her, let her speak, and you can come back and attack her. But now we got to speak one at a time. Mariah, then Chairman Ben.
Good thing I said is in the story. CDC appoints mediation committee for NPP's crisis as reported in allafrica.com on October 12, 2022, Kev. Read that story and every single thing that I said, from the delegates to the money not being available to what happened to the court ruling to every single thing is in that story. Learn to do your research and stop casting aspersions on people when they seem to have more knowledge about an issue than you do. This is not a private issue. It is a public issue that's been reported on consistently by the media, and we follow these issues and we read about them. So do that before you come on the show and accuse me of having insiders information. And the last thing though, you need to start blaming Cummings for stumping your toes. Something happened to you tomorrow, you sneeze that Cummings, you stump your toes that Cummings, you sweat that Cummings, you're shaving from cold that Cummings. What exactly is the intent to make Cummings do their wedding? Why I can take responsibility for your actions? You have treated the NPP like garbage in that coalition for the last 5 years. And suddenly you want to act like you're singing Kumbaya with them and expect these people to come around and hug you. And when you can't deal with it, then you want to blame Cummings. Go deal with your issues that you've created in the last 5 years and stop blaming Cummings.
Thank you, Mariah. Let me say this, Chairman Ben. You're coming in. I got Randolph Cooper on the phone. So after Chairman Ben, we'll be bringing in Mr. Cooper to clarify what is on the claim. Chairman.
So let me say this. First of all, we need to stop acting like this is about, this is like this is a tea party. This is politics. Do I expect, and it is true, Mr. Brown stated on this show that he was talking to top leaders in the MPP. That is well within his right. Exactly. That is within his right. Let me say, this is politics. You take advantage of your opponent's weakness. They say another person's weakness is another person's advantage. Now, the question is whether one side will succeed or the other side will not succeed. What I can say, though, on the issue of the Tupi Taylor's tape, right? And I will repeat this. There's a lot that is happening internally, right? There's always been this back and forth and all of that. So whatever that was, because I even heard the tape where she said, oh, the VP took her name off the list and stuff like that. She went back to the conversation about, oh, she wasn't there when they started the MPP. But let us also not take anything away from the vice president. It was because of Joel Howard Taylor and the tons of other MPP partisans that the National Patriotic Party is even in the conversation that we're having today. And it's a fact. Like Cyril Allen said, there's second generation leaders in the National Patriotic Party. When the CDC made a determination to go into a coalition with the National Patriotic Party, there were several factors that play into the decision for them to go into a coalition. Primary of the factor was the strength of Joel Howard Taylor in Bond County. Primary of that decision. So I understand there's a lot going on, and the thing I know about the MPP is that MPP plowed on something that you can say, oh, so and so, because today they can fight. Tomorrow you will be hearing something totally different. I have said, and I will continue to say, and this is my last, because I know you got Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Cooper on the phone.
I will say this: a lot is going on. It is well within the right for the ANC or the UP or whoever.
So are you confirming that as Louis Brown's statement, Mariah and all of the ANC, CPP, ANC, and Liberty Party, they are not having that as an opportunity.
But that's what politics is. That's what politics is. Politics is.
What's the confusion here then?
But that's what I'm trying to figure out. So what is this thing about? And at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, the MPP is in a position where they are a part of a coalition. They will make the determination moving forward. You can clearly see that the vice president has made a determination that this is where she wants to go. And part of lobbying in political parties is bringing people along with you. That's all that's happening here.
Thank you. So, guys, I know tomorrow and Dr. Peabody will come to you guys. I have Mr. Randall Cooper. Mr. Cooper, welcome to the Spoon Talk. Sir, the only way to get you is by way of the phone. So we say thank you for joining us. You are live. You are live, Mr. Cooper.
Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure being on Spoon Talk.
Are you the Mr. Cooper? Are you the Mr. Cooper that was dismissed by President Weah as chair on a board chair for LPRC?
Affirmative. I'm Randolph Cooper.
Thank you very much. Make your point, sir.
The commitment of the National Patriotic Party to remain in a coalition is unwavering. We have given assurances to the coalition that will stay. As a senior official of the coalition and of the National Patriotic Party, we are committed to this coalition. Let nobody get it wrong. People are trying to put wedges between us. It is not going to happen. The dispute between Joel Howard Taylor, who is the vice president of Liberia, and James Bonny, Senator James Bonny, is a long-running dispute. And we will solve that dispute at the appropriate time in the appropriate mechanism. So my description of the problem in the party does not give anyone the impression, should not give anyone the impression that the NPP is not committed to this coalition. We are committed to it. The problem we have with the coalition is being solved and will be solved finally when the framework agreement is negotiated and signed. But we are all committed to stay in the coalition, both sides.
Mr. Cooper, Mr. Cooper, your clip, now you're trying to clarify this thing, but you got this base removed by the president. Do you think the president's judgment to remove you was fair on you?
I serve at the will and pleasure of the president. I have sent you a message thanking him for giving me the chance to serve my people in Liberia and to serve him and the party and the coalition and the government.
You felt frustrated, very much frustrated, based on the fact that the convention didn't go as the old NPP way. Now it's like changing, you are changing your tune. Are you satisfied? Are you? Let me just finish up, sir. Are you now satisfied to say that the president didn't cross the line to? Is he interfering with NPP issues now because you have expressed dissatisfaction the way in which your convention went?
The president is standard bearer of the coalition, and he has the coalition. It's like a father and his children. You want to make sure all his children are operating properly. So that the only desire I know the president has is peace in the party and coordination. That's his only desire, as far as I know. And that's why we will work to bring peace in the party and coordination in the party.
Why do you think the president, my last question, I will bring the guys in, Mr. Cooper, my last question, I will go to the other guy. Why do you think the president fired you? Why? Why was you fired today?
Because somebody misrepresented. Someone misrepresented my conversation, and it's unfortunate I didn't have a chance to elaborate on it with him. He knows where we stand. He knows where the leadership of the party stands, and unless someone misrepresents things, he should be comfortable in it.
Mariah, you come in with your question because you're from the other side of the aisle. Come in with your question. Mr. Cooper is on the phone.
I think my question to Mr. Cooper, how many questions do we have to ask? One?
Two each. Yes, he's with us. Yeah.
Okay. My first question, Mr. Cooper, is you mentioned the coalition document being renegotiated. Can you explain to the Liberian people what some of those negotiations will entail? Do you believe that the NPP has been treated fairly in the coalition for the last 5 years?
The NPP is desirous of obtaining additional positions in government, since the purpose of political party is state power. And the idea is to clarify which positions the NPP will have in the new government will win the elections.
And you didn't answer the other part about the
treatment
or not treatment. Has the NPP been an equal partner to the CDC in this coalition? Have you been treated fair? Do you believe you've been treated fairly and given your dues as a member of the coalition?
The coalition operates as a as a body. And there are always decisions that people are not satisfied with. Always decisions people are not satisfied with. It's not something new, but that's why you have negotiations at the end of every agreement to ease all the problems that you encounter during the agreement. We had some issues that we encountered. We decided to work together to ease it. But our commitment to the coalition as a party is unwavering.
So my last question would be, they say when Snake Bayou and you see laser, you will run. Given the issues you've had in the current coalition and your negotiation that you anticipate coming up, what guarantees do you have that the CDC as part of the coalition will implement what is negotiated if they could not do that during the first term?
We're talking about honorable people. This is the first time in Liberia you have a coalition. How are you supposed to operate? How are you supposed to perform? Was an unknown factor. And we all had to make adjustments. So now we understand how a coalition operates. It'll be easier for us to work together and build up a coalition. Build a coalition up.
Are you done,
I can tell you, let me just make a comment. I can tell you from the leadership of the National Patriotic Party, there has been no one I know of who have discussed anything different than what I'm telling you, who have met with Cummings or any of his people. Nobody, as far as I know. And I know most all the leadership in the National Patriotic Party on both sides of the house.
Thank you for making that clarity for Kev Hassan. The other question, I guess my follow-up to that, you said in your answer to the second question that you're talking to honorable people. Were these not the same honorable people you were talking to in 2017?
Yes, but I'm telling you, the function of a coalition government has never happened in Liberia before. It's an unusual occurrence. In our form of government, which is not a parliamentarian form of government, it's a difficult thing. In a parliamentarian form of government, the parliament members are ministers. We don't have the same situation in Liberia. So how the coalition will operate was something we had to learn. And that's what we're learning, and we have learned, and we'll set it straight and work properly together.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Hold on for Ben Semvi. Chairman Ben.
Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. Mr. Cooper, how are you? It's good to hear from you. Let me ask you a quick question. How far, and you clarify a few of the things that I had to ask in the first place, but let me ask you this. How far are you in the conversation now, the mediation that is going on? Have you guys met with the mediation team? Is there a timeline on what you think will when you guys think you will arrive at a solution to what is currently going on?
The mediation team will give a 14-day mandate. I expect a result in less than that.
Okay. And my last question is, I want to ask you something regarding the issue of the standard bearership. I remember when your I think it was Chief Allen and your Mr. Peters was on the show. Was there any time whenever within the leadership of the MPP that you guys had any intention? Are you guys looking forward to doing a full primary? Are you opening up your standard bearership to primaries? In that mean that you will be challenging the current standard bearer, who is by extension who is the vice president of Liberia? Is that something that you guys intend to do?
Yes, it is normal for a party to go through that exercise.
So it is something that you intend to do.
We do not expect to have a change of standard bearer. We do not expect it.
Thank you.
If it happens, it will be unusual. It will not happen. To have it happen will be very difficult.
So I'm going to Sintuman and George, but before I do, Mr. Cooper, a few days back on the show, Emmanuel Lomax accused Mr. Peters, your Secretary General, that he woke up 3 a.m. in the morning. He went over to the CPP-ANC compound and he spoke with some ANC members. You are on the show and saying that no one from Liberty Party have ever spoken to any member of CPP or Mr. Cummings. Are you now saying that Emmanuel Lomax was not saying the truth? He was lying when he accused Mr. Peters?
I believe Mr. Lomax is mistaken. I know Mr. Peters, and I know he has not revealed to me or anyone in leadership of any discussion he has had with anybody. So any statement to the contrary, the person must be mistaken.
What about our program that we had on there when we hosted Mr. Louis Brown? He says he's in direct conversation with leadership of and some members of the leadership of NPP to move them over to the Cummings camp. Are you saying that that is a lie? It's a false information?
Well, I am not aware of anything like that. I know I have not been in touch with Louis Brown. I know the chairman has never revealed to me that he ever talked with Louis Brown. I know the Secretary General has never revealed to me that he ever talked to Louis Brown and concerning anything like that. Mr. Brown, people are trying to plant discord in the coalition. We did what no one else could have done. We brought 3 political parties together as one. No one has successfully done that. It's 3 major political parties. 3 major political parties. And all day long, people are planting discord and trying to make us think that we are evil among ourselves. We understand this. some of us being politics for a while, we understand they're only doing their job. Their job is to undermine the coalition, to try and undermine our unity, but it will not happen. It will not occur. We worked too hard to put this coalition together. We made too many sacrifices to keep it together for people to destroy it. It's not going to happen.
Sintumale.
Mr. Cooper, good evening, wherever you are, and good afternoon from my end. Good to talk to you. I know that, I mean, the former President Taylor, I know he's in prison, but I know he still plays a major role in this party. Can you confirm or deny whether he's still involved in the party issues that's going on right now?
Mr. Taylor, or former President Taylor, is not involved in the party in any way or kind. And I challenge anyone to tell me differently or show me differently.
Because I mean, my question stems from the fact that prior to the coalition, he spoke from prison and he called on all the partisan and members to follow to go along with the party leadership to join the coalition. That's why I asked how it comes from, and I know that people.
Those were the times. That was 5 years ago. That was 5. We have evolved. The party has grown. The party had 3 candidates for standard bearership, out of which one won. I don't know if you're aware that Nat Barnes and his ISO campaigned for standard bearer of the NPP. And the 2 of them lost to Joel Howard Taylor. We have evolved. The party is an institution with no more Charles Taylor party. We're an institution.
Okay. My next question is that the way you are sounding tonight is like I don't know what to say, whether you are a little bit down or so, because you're recorded by one of your parties and recorded you, and you said some things that exactly we have offended the President We are. I'm sure you were offended by your recording, so you cannot deny that it was somebody explaining to him different. You are recorded and they heard it. You said things that was he didn't like. And President We acted, I'm sure he acted based on a recording. So it's not like somebody threw gossip to him. It was something that he heard from the recording.
Sintumale is reconnecting. Now,
I'm here.
Thank you. Can you start your question over, Sintumale? Hold on, Mr. Cooper. I want you to start the second question over. Go ahead, Sergi.
You are saying that somebody misrepresented you to the president, and I don't have, but the recordings you are recorded by one of your partisans. And you're recording on a recording, the president, I'm sure he didn't like what he heard on a recording from you. And so that's where perhaps may him take the action to fire you as chairman of the board of FPRC. And today, you sound like someone who is seeking redemption, someone who is like, you perhaps trying to appeal. You want to like say, I'm sure that you are either embarrassed or sorry that you are recorded. That recording was leaked. And what you said is not something that anyone would like to see in the public. So, what's the position? Is like you.
Like what? Tell me what you think I said that would have made the president or any member of the coalition upset.
Yeah, but what you said in the recording, you said in other words, you guys not happy with what happened in the last 5 years. What you expected in the coalition, what you signed, they were reneged. The other side, the CDC, didn't implement carry on. You guys are not happy. So, I mean, you will sit and talk to like Brempo, like, do you happy? You guys are not happy. We all know that. We all know what happened between the president and the vice president for a couple of years. And now, for you to be saying what you're saying today is like, as though everything is rosy, which we pray and hope that, yes, we want to see a united opposition, united ruling party going against each other for competitive election. But you're making it sound as though everything like you guys are all happy with the last 5 years, when we know that's not the case.
Well, I'm sorry that you interpreted my statements to mean that the vice president had issues with the president, but she's still his vice president. We have issues. We had issues in the coalition, but we're still part of the coalition. We still have no intention of leaving. You know, I don't understand why people want to they would like to overemphasize our little our issues we have had in the coalition. But we're still together, we still support each other, and we overcome all these obstacles.
But in the recording, what do you mean by Jim Barney is patient, but you and the party loyalists?
I want us to play the recording.
Remember that in our recording that you said Jim Barney
he's reconnecting, Georgie. He's reconnecting. The internet, you know. Let's just wait when he comes back.
I got you. Our ability to overcome these challenges, these internal misunderstandings and disputes, is what makes us unique. That's what makes the coalition successful. Other people trying to form coalition have failed to overcome these things. We have succeeded.
Mr. Cooper, can we play the recording?
My question.
It will serve our audience.
Please.
Yeah, I beg you. Hold on, Georgie. Hold on. I know.
I didn't even get a recording.
Yes, so Timon and Josh.
I can explain.
Yes, Timon and Josh, you're asking a good question. Let's play the recording. Rufus, can you come on and play the recording? Then we'll go to Peabody and Kep Hassan. Play the Mr. Cooper recording, not the Tupi Taylor recording, please. So let's play the recording.
I'm going to do it, people. You're fighting for somebody in their mind, in their mind, who sign agreement in November. What kind of foolishness is that? What kind of foolishness is that? Find who sign agreement in November? With who? With who? I know better. Inside the road, Georgia, the mistake we made the last time, they don't know what mistake we made.
Wow.
The mistake we made the last time, we could make the same mistake again.
No,
you think I feel good? You think I feel good? Finally feel good? All his parties think I be giving them money because I can't find a job for them. You think you feel good? You think I feel good? You think I feel good? We got people who were up there in the bush who are struggling, who are getting one cent. Now can they got no job? They don't people about it. Because suppose where they are spending their money, like got by here, 10 years here, they're lucky they got money. For me, I'm going to whole party with them, they're going to collapse it. I will leave party, I'm going to swear to do. First, any political party before, you never been political party before. You know how political party runs? You know how it operates? You got the fuckers idea. At this time, because the girl looking fine now, everyone will jump behind. That go behind. I got patience. For me, I got loyalty. I'm loyal to my party.
So somebody, you asked a good question. Now he's listening. Continue with that question.
Yeah, Mr. Cooper,
we are hearing frustration. We are hearing frustration and other stuff. Continue with your question.
Yeah, you on the tape. You just the whole world just heard what you said on that tape. It's like you frustrated that the last negotiation didn't go well, and you said Barney got patient, your party loyalists and so forth. So how can you tell our brand people now? You're telling a different thing, and what you said on the tape is completely different. Can you just clarify what you said on that tape, please?
I never changed anything on that tape. We have had challenges, which I told you, in the coalition, in terms of the positions in government. We are learning from that. We had our partisans who were disgruntled. We have had to work with them to keep them
including you, right?
We have solved those problems. Pardon?
Including you, right?
No, I am feeling for our partisans, not for me. For me, I was a businessman before, I can be a businessman. But our partisans were disgruntled, and we had to deal with that. But we have put these things under control. We have talked to the coalition leadership, and we've talked with the leadership of the coalition, and we're working towards a framework document that will make certain that what mistakes we made, we learned from it. That's the key. The frustration for our partisans, yes, I was talking to a partisan who was frustrated, and I empathize with him that we are frustrated. But basically, whatever mistakes that were made, we've learned from it, and we'll move forward.
But it seems that, Mr. Cooper, we got 3 other people to go, and I know, thank you for hanging on with us this evening. But it seems that you are frustrated, though. We're gonna play this clip. We're gonna bring in Dr. Peabody.
Let me say something else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every member of a political party that takes power have problems. When the National Patriotic Party took power, we had serious problems with our membership in terms of placement. Right now, everyone has problems in terms of placement. It's not something that will cause us to leave the coalition. It will cause us to talk more and negotiate more. That's why I said we're waiting for the framework agreement. So please, what is happening? You all are misunderstanding and thinking that the NPP.
No,
wants to
Mr.
leave the
Cooper, we are not
coalition.
saying that you're leaving
It's wrong.
NPP. On your clip, you say you will never leave the party. You are loyal to your party. You said that. We gave that to you. But let's just go for the big.
NPP will not leave the coalition either.
Okay, but we agree with
The
that.
NPP.
Yeah, but that's for me.
Else you would like to know?
Yeah, for me, I agree with that. I won't bring it that to Peabody and Sintumani George, two other panelists, and I got to also again bring in our sister who will be asking Dr. Richardson questions. So we'll go back to her to swing in one more time. We're seeing that she has written another 2 set of questions. So I want to ask you on this note after Dr. Peabody. It's kind of important for us to play this clip. Just the first 10 seconds. You also use maybe Rufus, please come back. It's good. Let the bring people here. No. I want us to play it. I beg you, sir. Please. Yeah, Rufus. Yes, yes, please. Rufus, please, real quick, Rufus, come on. Rufus.
Let me tell you what it says.
No. It's something about the first 10 seconds I want us to go to. If only we have our producer from the studio, somebody get Rufus, please.
You're fighting for, because somebody in their mind, in their mind, will sign agreement in November. What kind of foolishness is that? What kind of foolishness is that? Find will sign agreement in November? With who?
Rufus, pause it real quick. Pause it right there. Danny will go sign agreement in November. What kind of foolishness is that? With who? What kind of foolishness is that? Kiki, well, I mean, those tunes is not an easy, quiet, tune that will bring people back to the dining table, though.
Let me explain what it's all about. Okay? There was a commitment made a few weeks ago, which the NPP signed to say that we are committed to stay in the coalition. People were misinterpreting that commitment to mean that we agreed to all the terms and we have drafted a framework agreement. I was telling the person that this is wrong. This is not how it works. We committed to the coalition, but we have not signed an agreement which says what we're going to be doing as a coalition. That was the only purpose of that 5 sentences. Nothing more. Nothing more. And the person I was talking to knew what I was referring to and was aware of it. That's why you don't see a elaborate.
All right, so can you tell who you are speaking to, Mr. Cooper?
Who do you think recorded you?
If you care to give us the name.
The person who gave you the tip is who I was speaking to.
Okay, I will not disclose. No, I will not disclose the person I gave him the tip. So let's move to the next line real quick. It's important for us to hear what he said concerning moving forward. Dr. Peabody, you come in pretty soon. Rufus, continue real quick.
I'm going to do it, people. You're fighting for, because somebody in their mind, will sign agreement in November. What kind of foolishness is that? What kind of foolishness is that? Find will sign agreement in November? With who? With who? I know better. Inside the road, Georgia, the mistake we made the last time, they don't know what mistake we made.
Wow.
The mistake we made the last time, we're going to make the same mistake again.
No, it can't be a mistake.
You think I feel good? Why do you feel good? All the parties think I be giving them money, we can't find a job for them. You think you feel good? You think I feel good?
Pause it, Rufus. Mr. Cooper, what kind of mistake you made the last time? By electing President George Manawia?
No.
What kind of mistake you talking about?
That was the best thing we did.
But you said you don't have a job. You elected him, but you never had a job. You made a mistake, and you not made a mistake again. What kind of mistake you are talking about, sir?
We didn't sign a framework agreement. That's a framework agreement we're signing this time.
The framework agreement didn't give you a job. You signed a framework agreement the last time. You went into a collaboration and you won the party. Why now you saying the mistake that you made the last time, you will not repeat such mistake? The only thing folks will understand from this is because you supported President George Manawia. Was that a mistake?
It was not a mistake. We are happy we did it. The NPP is happy. We know that there are challenges, and so that's not an issue. We did not sign a framework agreement, and we're signing one this time. That's the only issue.
Dr.
We'll
Peabody.
stay in the coalition. We support George. We are presidency.
Dr. Peabody.
Mr. Cooper, do you regret making this comment because I see a big change. Do you regret?
Good question.
Do I regret what?
The comment you made.
Your question, please.
The comment you made.
Regret your comment on the clip?
I regret the context under which the comment is being used, because I was talking to a fellow partisan who is committed to the coalition, who I was trying to encourage that things will not be the same, and it's being taken out of context and taken as an anti-coalition. That's the only regret I have.
Let me ask you here. You said that some of the people who fought in the bush did not get the opportunity to get a job. Who are those people you're talking about?
We're referring to people who fought in the bush that was during the campaign, those who went all through the country campaigning.
So I see you taking a
all through
change.
the country campaigning.
I see.
That's
Okay,
what
I
I'm
see
referring
you.
to. I went all through the country. Other people went all through the country campaigning. It was not easy.
Definitely.
Bad votes and everything. It was not easy.
We want to give you the finish up Dr. Peabody.
Let me do that. I'm glad you changed that comment and talk about those who went on the campaign to fight for the election, because when you talk about fighting the bush, I don't think we should be going back to that, knowing that how many people died in the war. We don't want to bring back old wound. But let me ask my final question here. Will you welcome President Weah intervening and trying to resolve your conflict?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Kev Hassan.
Well, I would say to you, I mean, I don't think I have a question for you. I would say to you,
Kev job easy.
I would say to you, go and reconcile to your party, fix whatever damage or whatever statement you made. Go and reconcile and fix it. But I will commend you. I want you to stand with the president, and wanting your party to stand with the president and believe in the vision of the president. But go and reconcile with your party and fix it.
I have no problem with my party.
What?
I personally have no problem with the National Patriotic Party.
Yeah,
nor
but
the coalition with the Democratic.
whatever statement you made, the advice I will give you, cut the interview off.
No, don't tell him to do that, Kev. Don't tell him, Kev.
Greg, you said my second question.
Kev, don't do that. Kev, don't do that.
One minute.
Mr. Cooper, real quick. Let me come in 1 minute. I mean, somebody else will come in 1 minute. Mr. Cooper. So you said that, well, maybe people misconstrued the context under which the statement was made. I just want to know. You heard the Tupi Taylor clip. You didn't. Okay. Like, do you think by any chance you wrong? You think
I didn't even hear my tip. I didn't hear my tip until you played it just now.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you. You think by any chance you wrong VP Joel Taylor? You care to apologize in terms of the press or the precedent as a whole? In terms of the way in which this clip is now circulating, you think you owe VP Taylor an apology? You owe the president a better explanation and apology as well? Mr. Cooper? He's reconnecting. He's reconnecting, guys. I hope he can come up for 2 minutes.
I told you about the MVP problem. I told you.
No, man, it's not. Mr. Cooper? Mr. Cooper?
I know MVP people.
Yes,
yeah, thank you very much, sir. I'm asking you, do you think you owe VP Taylor an apology or the president for your statement that is circulating?
I do not owe the Vice President, Joel Howard Taylor, any apology because I said nothing wrong to her. Nothing wrong I said to her. The misunderstanding of people who misrepresent things is unfortunate, and I hope that people who listen will better understand and interpret what I have said.
Do you think you owe President George Manaway an apologies?
May I ask, why would I owe an apology? I have said nothing bad about President George Weah. I have said nothing bad about my organization, the Coalition of Democratic Change. I have said nothing bad about the National Patriotic Party. Nothing bad for like the LPDP. Why would I owe apology to someone?
Do you think Madam Joe Howard Taylor is a stand-up bearer for NPP and she should remain the stand-up bearer of NPP?
It is not up to me to decide if Vice President Joe Howard Taylor should remain stand-up bearer of NPP.
Do you recognize the convention that was held by Madam Taylor or the convention that was held by Chairman James Benny? Which one do you recognize?
I recognize the legitimate convention that was held inside the Queensway Town Hall by the people authorized by the Code and the Constitution of the National Patriotic Party to hold a convention.
Under who chairmanship or leadership?
According to the code and the Supreme Court, the Circuit Court, and the Constitution of the National Patriotic Party, the convention is chaired by Senator James Benny.
So you do not recognize the convention of Madam Taylor?
Any convention held outside the designated place, that is not under the laws of the party and the laws of Liberia, is illegal.
Can you confirm or deny? Then I will bring in Anthony Yakula, Ben Senvi, and Sintumani George. My last question. Can you confirm or deny that Madam Joa Howard Taylor pays $600 each to party county chair at the convention?
Do you want yes or you want facts?
I'm asking you. Give us a fact, not yes.
Let me give you. Yes. Facts, I really don't know because she didn't give me any money and nobody came to me and said he received $600.
Thank you very much from my end, Mr. Cooper, Anthony Yakula, Chief Tomalin, George. Ben Senvi, you will take us home from here, please.
Thank you. Before my next set of questions.
Moran,
ask a question.
I think
Kevin, they stay with the show. Ask a question.
My boy Kevin the Basuma, Kevin Bizo.
Thank you. Before I ask my question, can you play that tape again? Just the first 30 seconds.
All right, please play the tape, Rufus. Please.
I tell you, Rufus, play the tape.
Captain Mr. Kuba, my technical difficulty.
Yeah, my man, go. Lead the team. Go to your party. Team, my man. Lead the team. Thank you for the show. Lead the team.
The mistake was made the last time. They don't know what mistake was made.
Wow.
The mistake we made the last time, we could make the same mistake again.
No,
If I feel good, money feel good, all the parties think I be giving them money, we got to find a job for them. You think you feel good? You think I feel good? You think I feel good? We got people who were up there in the bush who are struggling, who are getting one cent. Now can they got no job, they do people with money. Because suppose where they are spending their money, like I got here, spending their here, they're luckily got money. For me, I'm going to whole party with them, I'm going to collapse it. I will live party, I'm going to swear to do it. Because any political party before, you never been political party before. You know how political party runs? You know how it operates? You had the fuckers idea. At this time, because the girl looking fine now, everyone told me, jump behind her. Let's go behind her. Let's go behind her. I got patience. I got patience. For me, I got loyalty. I'm loyal to my party.
Thank you. Mr. Cooper, when was this conversation held?
It was held after the convention.
When was it in the last week? The last few days?
Yes, within the last few days.
So that's pretty recent, am I correct?
Recent is relative. 1 hour, 1 day could be recent, 1 week is recent.
But that's in less than a week. Is that fair to say?
Fair. That you are accurate.
Okay, thank you. And so given your positioning less than a week ago, or your tune and your frustrations expressed in terms of not being foolish to sign an agreement in November, and all of the things that we've just listened to on the tape, which you said was you expressing frustration because other partisans were frustrated. Are you now on this show using a different tune and a different positioning because you were dismissed by the president today from the board? Would it be safe to say that that has changed your positioning and the tune that you're using, or where you were at the time you made the statements about the president? Is this about you, or is it about the president?
Laura, he missed your question.
Connection dropped out.
Yeah, he missed your question.
Okay, so my question was, and I'll try to be brief, given your tone of voice and your frustration expressed in the tape, as you said, you were speaking for the frustration of other partisans, but things you said about not being foolish to sign an agreement in November and making a mistake and all of those things that were said, which you've defended now or tried to explain and say we're taking out of context. Has the context changed because the president dismissed you from the board today? Is that why you're now singing a different tune and speaking more, I guess, in a unifying manner than you did on the tape less than a week ago?
When you're talking to someone who understands what you're talking about, you can afford to be a little bit more relaxed. For example, do you know what I was referring to about the agreement that was signed, or supposed to have been signed? Do you know what I was referring to, which agreement? The person I was talking to knew what I was talking about.
I believe it's the framework agreement for the coalition.
The situation. Pardon?
I said, I believe you were speaking about the coalition agreement in November.
Which has not been signed until after we do a framework agreement as part of it. And basically, the person I was talking to understands very well that we are working towards a framework agreement. They understand that. So I didn't have to explain how I explained to other outsiders. We knew exactly. We have talked about these things before. It's standard in the party. We've been discussing this for months about the framework agreement and about where we're going. We agreed. We confirmed it with the coalition that we're staying in the coalition. We signed an agreement, I think last month, a month before. We signed an agreement with the coalition, committing ourselves to the coalition. So it's not an issue of whether we commit to the coalition or not. We are committed to the coalition.
That wasn't, Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Cooper, that wasn't the question. I think the question is, regardless of whatever agreement you guys are signing, you say you're not foolish enough to sign it. That's not the issue. The issue is the positioning that you took less than a week ago. Has it changed today because you were dismissed from your job by the president? And is this meant to appease the president?
I'm dismissed from the job. I don't expect to get rehired. So why would I be doing differently?
You could be rehired depending on if it's your tune.
The position we are talking about stays the same. It's just that I was talking to another partisans who I was empathizing with. I'm talking to the public, which I can tell them exactly where I stand and where the party stands, as far as I know. We're talking to a partisan who has never. We're talking to a partisan who himself is unemployed. You have to. You're a little bit more. You have to be a little bit more. You have to empathize with him a little bit more, and that was the purpose of the conversation. And
so
not to say something negative about the conversation.
So it was to appeal to the partisans' emotions and not how you felt at that moment.
The partisan was talking at that time. Yes.
Okay. All right. So my last question would be: in December of 2021, the Youth League of the NPP called for an audit of the party's bank statements and bank records for what they call wanton withdrawals by you and the Secretary General. Can you give an update on the issue of the audit. Was the audit done? Was the outcome of that process as called upon by the youth of the NPP?
The procedure for the party, there was no such youth league, but there was political propaganda, but no problem. The procedure of the party is to give financial reports at National Executive Committee meeting, which we have done. And the report was sent to the audit committee to evaluate. The report was given a few months ago, 2-3 months ago. There was a meeting. People have a tendency of trying to malign people's reputations by picking 1 or 2 items out from a bank statement and saying that the whole thing is bogus. We have run the party through a banking system. Our standard bearer has decided that funds she has in the party, she will run it through her pocket. For the past 5 years, she has run it through her pocket. For the past 5 years, we have run it through the bank. Where is the paper trail in the other way they are doing it? Where's our paper trail? We are subjected to the laws of the party, which we follow. Every so often, at a National Executive Committee meeting, a financial report is made. When it's made, a decision is made whether to send it to an audit committee or to accept it. It is usually accepted and sent to the audit committee. At the convention, we make a report. When the report is received, if there's anybody got any questions, they send the audit committee to answer the questions. We are a professional institution. We don't run the party from the pocket. The leadership of the party has been financing this party 90% for the past 5 years. For the past 5 years, the leadership has been funding this party. NPP is one of the few parties who do not pay party dues. The operation of the party is left on the leadership. And this is an unfortunate inheritance we had when Charles Taylor was funding the party. Because of that, the leadership funded the party. Those who are questioning how we ran the party account through a bank runs the account for the party to their personal pocket. The gifts they give the party, the gifts are kept in their name. The vehicle we buy for the party.
Who are these people, Mr. Cooper?
Go ahead.
Who are these people who are taking gifts for the party in their names and who are running the party in their names? You keep saying people. Who are some of these people?
Repeat. I didn't say taking gifts.
Giving
I
gifts.
said providing gifts.
Yeah.
So who are those? Who are those?
Who are these people?
They provide gifts to the party and they keep it in their name.
Who are those?
I'm not going to encourage people to disrupt the party activities. Anybody I say, all the NPP partisans know exactly what I'm talking about.
But you're not talking to NPP partisans, you're talking to the public, Mr. Cooper. Yeah, how you could explain to the public that
there are certain things the public doesn't have the need to know.
But you just mentioned if the public didn't have the need to know, why did you mention it?
Because you asked.
Okay, so we're asking again.
Mr. Cooper, so who are those? Are you referring to the VP that she taking care of the party in her name, and she providing these items in her own name?
I will not get involved in talking party business.
I respect that. I respect that, Mr. Cooper.
In the party and not outside. I'm not going to do it.
I respect that, Mr. Cooper.
The question 10 times.
No, that's okay. It's got Mr. Cooper. Emmanuel Lomax accused you of using all of the 35,000 the VP provided for this convention, and he said that because the VP couldn't trust you, she brought in her own person that was signed on those bank documents. Is it true? Did you, by any means, use the 35,000? You and Jimmy and the VP had to bring her own financial. Did the VP bring her own financial staff to control the money she was putting in the convention?
The VP did not put any money in the convention.
She didn't give you guys 35,000.
Let me clarify.
Please.
Because apparently I'm misunderstanding. The 35,000 the VP made, which the check cleared on the 3rd, remained in the party account until after the convention. And the convention was funded by the chairman and the leadership. The leadership put $50,000 in the party account. I have checks written by the chairman, cash deposit by partisans, totaling $50,000 that the leadership put in the party account. 50,000. The money, the convention was sponsored by the leadership because of the requirement of the court and the constitution that the party must go convention and the chairman must carry the party convention.
Why the VP
Because of
didn't
that,
trust you?
We raised the money for that.
Why she didn't trust
VP
you?
has her own. Let me ask you a question. Why has the VP for 5 years, since she became vice president of Liberia, didn't put a penny in the party account? Why is the party keeping an account when nobody wants to use?
Are you saying that the VP have never paid party dues and make any contribution since 5 years?
The one single contribution that was made the other day for the convention, which was made late, which was the 35,000.
For 5 years, the VP have never made any contribution.
She has never I repeat, she has never deposited a penny in the party account. Lomax has deposited in the past 5 years $400 in the party account. Since we want to be spilling things we have no business talking in public, we shouldn't be talking this kind of thing in public. It is wrong. The party finances are for the party and not for the public.
You just told the public that VP Joel Howard Taylor. Wow. Yeah, you just told the public, you just told Liberians tonight that for the past 5 years, since she became vice president, she have never spent a dime. She have never contributed a dime into. She have never contributed a dime into the party account. Is that true? You just said it.
And I repeat that she has not deposited a penny in the National Patriotic Party account.
Wow. Yes, gentlemen, go ahead, sir.
Mr. Cooper.
I will listen to
Mr. Cooper.
Ask question too.
Mr. Cooper.
We got a 3 y'all. Why am I to that? You know we get log off. Y'all get
Yeah, let me finish now. The time. Mr. Cooper. President, we are in the kindness of his heart. He made you chairman of the LPRC board, right? But how will you why will you go and talk about the president who gave you a job? Why you didn't resign? I mean, why you didn't resign? Come here. The man in the kindness of his heart, the man gave you a job as chairman of the board. You there right talk about the man. Then you why you didn't tell the vice president what you're talking about on that tape?
I never talked against the president.
You talk against the president on the tape, Mr. Cooper. You treated the president bad. You betrayed the president.
Yeah, man. Stop.
You talk about the president. The president had no authority but to fire you. That was bad. Mr. Cooper, you treated the president bad. Why didn't the vice president if he had a problem?
But tell me why you said that.
Well, he treated the president good. You don't talk about the president. You enjoy the president's confidence. You betray the president.
Oh, the next 3 hours is the 5 days allowed.
Mr. Cooper, wait till that tape. You should have told the vice president instead of talking about the president on that tape.
Repeat.
What you said on that tape, you should have told the vice president as head of the party, or you should have resigned. But the thing about the president were not fair to him, man. On a serious note, they're not fair to him. You know that.
So, guys, we got to go. Chairman, please take us home.
Oh, I'm going to take you home. Okay. Y'all finished? All the questions.
Yes. Chairman, go ahead. Chairman, he's listening to you.
Let me say something.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Cooper.
Go ahead, sir. Mr. Cooper. Chairman, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let Chairman go ahead.
Go ahead, Chairman.
Mr. Cooper.
I did not. Yes.
Mr. Cooper, let me say this. And first of all, thank you for coming because I'm taking you home. I promise you, nobody asking you any more questions here. These guys are trying to build a mountain or a bowl. Don't mind it. They buy. You see all the 3 on the panel, they play it. But let me say this. And this is what I would say to this. Moving forward, I think as Tomlin was saying, you said you don't want to say who recorded you, and you said you were speaking to a partisan. On the issue of your moving forward with the coalition, when are you guys going to sign this new framework? Because you've clearly stated here that you're committed to the coalition. When are you guys going to sign this framework? And give us a small synopsis of what are some of the things that you were looking for this time that you didn't get in the past. Then you can end on that note.
The framework agreement will be negotiated and signed as soon as possible.
What are you looking for that you didn't get the last time?
The negotiators of the framework of the agreement, and the committee has been appointed, will decide on what they want. The committee has not met. The committee was appointed a few days ago. When the committee meets, they will decide what they want.
Okay, but you
You mentioned earlier that you all want specific jobs.
The committee will decide.
Okay,
The
thank you.
committee will decide.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Okay.
So,
Now, let me say something else in closing.
Mr. Cooper, no, hold that for a minute. Hold that for a minute. One of our followers, hold that for a minute. One of our followers have some concern, but let me ask you a quick question. Then you can close. We appreciate you on the show tonight. Let me ask you though, the SGP, somebody ever asked you to make them a standard bearer?
Repeat, no, nobody has.
Did Edwin Snow ever ask you to make him a standard bearer?
No.
No. You and the Secretary General Peter at Peter resident and asked you to make him standard bearer?
No, I never met when it was not at Peter's residence. Never.
And let me ask you a question though. At the end of the day, real quick, why do you think the person decided to leak your clip? Why?
We're in politics. We're in politics. You have to realize that there are people who have to put their motives to leak clips. They have to put their motives. You want to paint me bad in front of the president, they succeeded, and that's what they wanted.
Have you ever wanted to become a standard bearer for NPP?
No.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, just for the record.
Please.
I had the opportunity of becoming chairman of the NPP, and I turned it down. I had the opportunity. I have served the party as vice chairman for finance and investment, acting chairman of the party, acting secretary general of the party, treasurer of the party. I've served many positions in the party. When nobody wanted to identify with NPP, I was identifying with NPP. When nobody wanted to build a party, I was helping to build a party up. Barney, the chairman of the party, myself, stuck by it, got the standard bearer involved. At that time, Senator Taylor involved to make sure that the coalition was formed and to make sure that we was our government.
So you are very clear that you never asked Honorable Snow. You never went to his house. You never asked the SG that you deserve to become a standard bearer for NPP.
The Secretary General?
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Do your closing, sir.
Edwin Snow, let me do a closing. Since I heard someone yelling, that means they interpreted what I said to be an affront to the president. I would like to take this.
I apologize. Don't make him apologize.
Yeah, let him apologize to the president publicly. That's good.
But I asked him the question and he said no.
Maybe
sorry, let me go back. I would like to say to the president, that if anything I said on the tape was insulting to him, it was not my intention, and I apologize for the interpretation some people have made of it. It was never my intention. I have backed the president for over 10 years, not today. Today, I put on my 2011 coalition and NPP t-shirt. For 2011, we've been together with the coalition. We're backing the president. For 2011, all through his different presidential campaigns, we were there with him. And to say that now I would say something negative about him is unheard of. We have disagreements on what the party and the National Patriotic Party should have gotten from the coalition efforts, yes. But that doesn't mean we do not support the president, we back the president and make sure he wins. It doesn't say that.
Thank you. Do you have anything else to say? Excuse me, Ben, who do you have?
I have Senator Snow on the line. I think he wants to say something.
Echo.
Hold on 1 minute.
Okay.
No. Mr. Cooper want to listen to him. Let him talk to us.
Senator Snow, you want to say something? Can you hold on, please? Go ahead. Mr. Cooper, can you listen to
Ben?
Yes.
Believe me, I'm listening to your show. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are live on the radio.
Yeah, I'm listening to your show, and I hear Stan mentioning my name about MPP and standard bearer and all of that. I mean, just to make this clear, I mean, I've never had any intention, any interest in becoming standard bearer of the NPP. Yes, Mr. Cooper and the Secretary General met me at my residence, so I told him that is true. Yes, there were discussions surrounding that, but I was very clear that I have no interest.
Wait, Edwin Snow.
No, hold on 1 minute. Mr. Cooper, I beg you, let me wait.
Yeah,
Mr.
hold on
Cooper,
1 second, please.
Mr. Cooper just said he never ever. Yes, Mr. Cooper, you are listening to Senator Edwin Snow. I asked you the question because it was on our live feed. One of our followers on the feed wrote, and it said that you, Mr. Cooper, I asked you, you said you never spoke to Honorable Snow. You never met him.
Honorable Snow to be standard bearer.
So Honorable Snow,
I never did.
And you said you never met him.
Honorable Snow, Mr. Cooper, can you hold on? Mr. Cooper, can you hold on? Can you hold on, Mr. Cooper? Mr. Cooper, 1 second. Let me ask Edwin Snow the question directly. Senator Snow, did Mr. Cooper?
Okay,
yeah, I'm asking. Let me
hold on 1 minute. Chairman, hold on 1 minute. Mr. Cooper, can you hold on 1 minute?
Yeah, hold on.
Because we are on the phone. Let's listen to Honorable Snow, please.
Yeah, Senator Snow. Senator Snow, did you at any time, did Mr. Cooper or Andrew Peters ever ask you or want you to be standard bearer of MPP?
Let me make this clear for the record. I've had no interest in going back to the NPP. NPP is my mother party. I have a lot of respect for the NPP. I have no other intention of returning to the NPP. And I listened to Stan just now. I'm quite troubled because I know for a long time this brought some problems and tension in the NPP regarding me. Yes, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Andrew Peters visited me at my residence. Yes, I was approached by Mr. Peters and Mr. Cooper regarding returning to the NPP and seeking to become a standard bearer. And I made it very clear that I have no interest. I think the vice president, who's doing a great job, is okay as vice president, as standard bearer of the NPP, and I have no interest. So I don't want to be a part of this situation. And I ask you to please clear the air because I've never expressed that. Yes, I was approached, and I turned it down, hands down.
When was this meeting?
Say that again, Mariah?
When was the meeting?
This meeting was a few months ago at my residence. If I go to my phone, I can find a message because we communicated, we shared text messages.
How far was that?
I think we should end the show.
No.
We should end the show. No.
God forgive me when I said 6:30. We
you want to talk MPP? Let's talk MPP.
Honorable Cooper, you have Mr.
All right, I told you.
Honorable Cooper, you have Mr. Snow saying that you are not being truthful. Can you speak to us, sir?
I would like for Andrew Peters, there were two of us there, let Andrew Peters tell us what Mr. Snow said and what we said. Andrew Peters was
No. So I established something here tonight, Mr. Peter and Mr. Cooper. You met Honorable Snow.
Mr. Snow, we met Honorable Snow. We talked about NPP.
No. Hold on 1 minute, sir. No, sir. Hold on 1 minute now. Don't do this.
You say
you said you never met him.
No, I can't say I never met Mr. Snow. I meet Mr. Snow every day. We go back years.
Oh, Lord.
I can never say I never met Mr. I never met Mr. Snow to discuss him becoming stand-up bearer.
Well, but Snow, you got anything else to say?
The meeting with Mr. Andrew Peters was present.
We're not super young.
And the reason
now you see what the VP.
All right, Mr. Cooper, thank you very much. I understand your internet is getting we love having you.
Want to say something?
Hold on 1 minute. No, hold on 1 minute. I'm Mr. Snowway. Mr. Cooper, we love having you, and I hope we can have you again. We want to say thank you for 1 hour, 7 minutes, 15 seconds.
I hear you. Good night.
Good night. Have a good night.
Thank you, Cooper. Thank
yeah.
You. Now that's Snow.
Bring in Senator Snow. Bring in Senator Snow. Folks, and this is the Spoon Talk. Because I want to say thanks to the follower that tapped in this meeting. I read it on our live feed, and I decided to ask, Chairman. But understand, Mr. Cooper said no. Am I right, Mariah? He said no, correct?
That's what I remember him saying. Maybe we need to go back to the tape, or maybe I heard wrong.
No, he did. He said no. I asked him 3 times, and he denied it. So, Honorable Snow, talk to us. Something just, wow.
Go ahead, Honorable Snow. Hello?
Is he on?
Honorable Snow, can you hear me?
Stan, yeah, Ben, I can hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to get involved into the NPP.
You can't call the show you say you won't get involved.
Yeah, Ben, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You if you're listening to your device, cut it off and then just listen to the phone.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's why you're getting that delay.
Sure. All right, listen, Ben. Because I won't be able to hear you, because I cut off my device, I won't be able to hear you, so you can choose sound if you're not hearing me.
Okay, we can hear you clearly.
Just to say this to you, I don't have any intention getting in the NPP Wahala. I was surprised just I listened to your show when I heard Stan mentioning my name. Ben, you're not hearing you. I see your lip moving, but I'm not hearing you.
No, we can hear you. Go ahead. It's just a delay with the screen. That's all. Right. We can hear you. Just flow.
Okay. So I was surprised just now when I heard Stanton mentioning my name. You know, I listen to your show all the time. I was surprised when I heard him mention my name. I don't know who gave him that information. And I want to make this clear because for a long time, this brought some tension between within the NPP. There was even misinformation sent to the vice president about this situation, and I had to take time to clear the air of the vice president. I've always said in private and in public, I support the vice president. I've always encouraged the CDC that for them to have a good shot at the second term of Mr. Weah, the vice president, Taylor, would be the best candidate to take forward. Yes, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Andrews Peter met me at my residence, visited me. They introduced the subject. And I told them hands down that I had no interest in doing that, and that was it. So whoever gave you the information, whoever's trying to add gas to this fire, please, I asked Ms. Oliver, but I have no intention. I had no intention. Yes, I was approached, and I struck it down immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver Snow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Guys, let's come to this round table. Let's wrap this thing up. This is something, folks.
Yeah, we got only a few more minutes, though.
This is the Spoon Talk. I must tell you, I said 6:30. It's 6:30. We have to go. But I'm telling you, it's crazy.
I'm getting the MPP USA chairman calling too. Do you want me to take a call?
But man, you part of MPP?
You know that man. You know that man.
No, but you had a convention, Ben. What are you calling for? You had a convention. What you
wait a minute, man. Are the USA
chairman? No, we don't have a convention. It was our time, man. Yeah.
What I'm not even was he a thought?
But Ben, let me say something though. We have a couple of other important stories, but we ask you guys to join us tomorrow. We are receiving information that somebody had a counterfeit money through RIA. It was arrested. You know, it's coming up. We have another information concerning Europe and United States. John tax force talking about sanction from the EU to the Liberian government. We're still trying to verify that. Sanction is coming by way from EU. You can find this on GNN. We are pushing our buttons, speaking to our sources to verify this. This sanction based on the letter that was sent by Sherry Blair. You guys understand the wealth of Tony Blair. She sent a letter. I put it in the chat room. You can see it. The letter clearly states that something happened in that which is not right. We don't we are yet to confirm this sanction coming from EU, but tomorrow it will be fired because I get a lot of information and we have to discuss it likewise. We also have to discuss other issues in the country. Folks are now telling us that hold off yet, and the sanctions from EU.
Okay, I got one text message. I'm sorry, it's okay.
Yeah. And, those things we just cannot be on this show forever to discuss this thing. But I was troubled today when I heard of a sanction coming from EU. I was troubled. Names I'm hearing. People are saying, well, these things are lies, but again, we know where there's smoke, there's fire. John Spoon Talk tomorrow. Let's discuss these issues. We want to say we are grateful to you. We are thankful that you have come back. Yes, it is true. GNN, somebody said they are not credible, but understand we have to dig deeper. I'm speaking with those involved to give us the full story. I want to say, let's talk about this NPP team chairman, Mr. Cooper Moriah. The last part of this program, Mr. Cooper lied to us. The last line, and I will say it, I appreciate that he called on the show, but he lied. They called it a bull-faced lie. And I want to say to every one of you, man, this stuff is disturbing. Let's do this closing real quick. We got to go. We got about 10 minutes. Everybody will take 2 minutes. No interruption from Moriah and Kev Hassan.
Yeah, Moriah, please. No interruption to Kev, please.
Yeah. So go ahead, Senator George. Let me close. That was a beautiful show. I must tell you guys, it was a beautiful show.
Cooper should have taken Kev advice.
He should have taken Kev advice to leave. But I'm happy that he apologized to the president. I still see bitterness between the vice president and the Jimmy Camp. Now Cooper is saying, listen to me, man. You didn't pay dues. You didn't give any money. Put any money in the bank since 5 years. This is another breaking story. We can go back to the Musa Ability time. I don't know whether they will suspend the vice president for non-due payments. I don't know the constitution, how it works. You found out that Musa Ability suspended the loan, Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, for non-due payment. I don't know whether the same thing will happen. But now we're standing, personal. We have fired him, fired the other guy. Folks, let's end the show, man. I think I have fun tonight. It was great.
Yeah, you did. You caused too much.
Yeah. I have fun today. Sintimali?
It was a good show.
Don't say disappointed. I'm disappointed.
You are blessed. I swear to God, you are blessed.
A lot gonna happen, as I always say. We have more to come. But one thing I can tell you though, the best for the coalition is to hold, for them to remain together. NPP cannot be fragmented. It cannot be divided and go into election, because I can see that there's still bad blood amongst them, and the best they can do. But for right now, I think the vice president, Madam Taylor, is leading on our side. I think she's taking the weight of the party. She got majority of the party with her, and in the CDC, because if they continue to allow themselves to be in confusion, they'll have problem. And just before I end, I listened to the former vice president the other night, and I thought he came strong though. I think one of his best interviews I saw on our program, and he did a lot. If we were doing polling, I'm sure that that interview would have given him a lot of points in the poll, because he came out strong. And just imagine, what surprised me was that this man sits home all the time, right? But he appears on radio station, and the people are just spontaneous. They just come up to see him. And that was, and now they say, well, people were there.
Why do you face like that? Why do you Moriah when people talking?
It's not like the same people went there to say, oh, you come outside.
So you said the radio station was jammed.
All right.
So when I saw the former vice president, he called. I mean, the people came.
So if you say that, let me pick up Moriah. Compare this to Mr. Cummings Canada town hall. How many people they were jammed?
I think that's a pity, because he managed to put up.
No. So you gotta take it when they were 23 total. You gotta take it when Avan Togba, Leo, Mr. Cummings, and the other camera guy. So there were 23, so therefore there were only 19 guests at the town hall.
No. Still.
Hey, get me done.
They had two white Canadians, right?
No. You gotta take away the waitress them everything. but listen. Let me say this.
You better go, Michael. You better go.
I'm tired of y'all do that, man. I'm
Let me
tired
say
of
this,
y'all.
right? I don't know where my brother Tomlin was listening to the JMB. I don't know. You know, when you at the UN, right? When people speak in different language, they give you that earpiece, you put in your ear and interpret. Maybe your interpreter tell you something. How can you say this man came out strong to tell Liberian people in 100 days, I will build all the roads? That's strong there, Tomlin? No fair lie.
The strong part he said when he said that.
No.
He prosecute people for corruption. He ordered people. He said no. He said. The man said, he said, I will tell you, ask me when I would do it.
How can you be how can you build a road?
Okay, so Cap.
Road issue
I will yield my time to Mariah.
I think he misspoke on the road issue.
You yield your time to Mariah, right?
I will yield my time to
Let me
Mariah.
say this.
On the JMB issue, now they're closing. On the
No, but
JMB.
I close to your time.
No. Mariah got to speak on the JMB issue. What you talking about?
But hold on that. Who said she wasn't going to speak during her
Yeah, man, I
closing?
just won't give her my time.
So you want her to speak, and we'll
We'll
come out of
speak
Mr. Cummings
for
Town
4
Hall.
minutes. Yeah.
If you're talking about JMB, we'll come out of Mr. Cummings Town Hall.
Yeah,
You
no
get that
problem.
play?
No
All right,
problem.
go ahead.
Mariah, you got 4 minutes.
Catherine, waiting for you.
I'll tell you, I will just something I will lecture you. I'll tell you.
I mean, so on the JMB stuff, that there are a few things that I will discuss. You know, one of the questions was something about the code. I think he was contradictory in some of the things he said. He talked about the coalition and said 1 out of 4 left. I'm not sure who's the 1 out of 4 that left. And he said the 3 are still together. 1 out of 4 left. Last time we checked, 2 out of 4 left. So I'm not sure who's the 1 out of 4. He mentioned that he didn't want a court case. And that was funny to me because it's the same way he didn't want Madame Sirleaf to be expelled from the party. It was the same way, you know, he didn't want Mo Ali and Amin Modad to lose the elections. It was the same way he didn't want Wisner to now be chairman. I mean, every single thing that he's wanted that has happened, he always come back to say, oh, no, I didn't want it, and then push it to those who actually did his handiwork. And so I thought that was contradictory because his actions showed that he supported it, he wanted it, he testified against Mr. Cummings in that court case. And if you didn't want it, you would have made that known and clear at any point during the court case. He also talked about his visits out of Liberia, said every time he's out of Liberia is for Liberia, and that he has investments lining up. I was interested in that because he didn't say what those investments were, who they are. He talked about his friends outside of Liberia, and all of that was a bit vague. You know, he talked about LPMC at the time, Lofa producing rice. And it was interesting because then when he was at LPMC, he said Lofa was producing rice. They were taking rice from Lofa and sending it to Monrovia. But the issue was around rice production in Liberia, whether it was around the country or it's just from Lofa where he was. So I was a bit, that came up short. He also talked about being vice president and staying in his lane. And then also said that it was misinterpreted when he said he was a parked car and not a race car put on the race track. And what was interesting is he did say that in African politics, the vice president's role is to stay in the lane. And he did that as one of the best vice presidents, because when you don't and you try to do things and outshine or your boss, and then there's very same people who say, oh, your vice president outshining you. But he also did say that he represented Liberia well, and he assisted Madame Shirley very effectively. So for me, it was contradictory. Were you in your lane? Were you working directly with Madame Shirley, assisting her? He talked about, you know, and I think this was a low point in the interview when he said the pictures that President Weah took were fake pictures. And then he also said, oh, but I also know that at these events, the President of the United States has a dinner and take pictures with people. So I thought it reminded me of the statement he made about the taxi drivers, which Kev had made him apologize for on the show, when he said that the pictures President Weah took were fake pictures. I mean, trust me, I don't support the president or anything, but we know that those pictures were not fake. They were not official pictures taken in the hall. I mean, they met people, they went up to the table, they took pictures with them, but they were not fake pictures. So I thought that was a low point in the interview as the former vice president. Usually when it's good to criticize the government, we all do that, but do it on facts. And I think that wasn't a factual statement at all. It was a very low statement. And then he also talked about, of course, the issue with no car would get stuck in the mud in his first 100 days, going up country. Now, these are super highways. We're talking about the roads of the southeast to Lofa to, you know, River Cess, all of these really terrible roads. For the former vice president to say in 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud in this country going up country. I thought it was another low point in the interview. There's something about being specific about what it is. If he says, you know, we target the hot spots on these roads and try to fix them so that cars can be able to pass, be more specific in the things that you discussing or the things that you say you do. Because trust me, for too long, Liberians have heard all these marvelous ideas that turns out to be lies. And I think it was another low point in the interview to say in 100 days, which is like 3 months, no cars will get stuck in the mud in the country. And I think that certainly wasn't accurate, or it wasn't true, or it wasn't a fair representation of what he would do in 100 days. And so for me, that was the interview. I don't think it was any extra than what.
What are your thoughts on arts?
Yeah. So on the issue, and that's the other thing, the inconsistency. Before it was roads, then it became arts, ARTS, and now it's arrest, AREST. And I think, and I was telling Stephen Johnson then, like, you're changing from arts to arrest. As a coded message to tell the VP to take arrest, because at the end of the day, you have to be consistent with your platform and what it is that you sell into the Liberian people. Maybe by 2023, they'll add another arrow, then it will become arrest. I don't know. But the point is, these are very crucial times. And every time a candidate that is vying for the presidency speak to the people, one, you have to speak with facts. Two, you have to be very clear about your policies and what you intend to do. Three, you just basically have to sell yourself in a way that you don't sell yourself short. You don't make comments that cannot be verified. You don't throw jabs that are not accurate. I mean, the issue of the fake photos for me, like I said earlier, was a low point. And just speak to the issues. And, you know, we expect that from all of them, whether it's JMB or Cummings or Gonglo, even the president, if he ever finds the time to sit on the radio at any point, we expect that for him as well. But the Liberian people deserve better, and they deserve, you know, some level of accuracy and details from the presidential candidates, and not just these things. So on the contrary, I don't agree with Thomas Lane. I don't think it was a strong interview. Again, I think it was also a very easy interview. The interviewer was very, you know, more or less chilling. At the end of the day, the issue of the crowd coming at this stage.
But you pay different. You just make her to go over the 630 back.
But it didn't give me a time, so that was my overall of the interview. I didn't listen to it initially, but I had to go listen because the issue of the road thing in 90 days, all the roads being.
Well, Tomlin said there were thousands of people.
It was.
That's why I come into. Let's do this thing.
So thousands of people were also.
How many folks were out there? Because I want us to talk about the comments.
Thousands of
comments.
Let me just say something.
Hold on 1 minute. Moran, we got to bring in Kev Hassan on this one. when about comments, I like to bring Kev Hassan. Bro, we are bringing you.
Mariah, no interruption.
everything.
No interrupt, Kev. Do not
Yeah,
interrupt.
listen. You know, I know Mariah said a lot of things about JMB. You know, I just want my sister Mariah to understand one thing. You know, the very day that I listened to my grandfather was misstepping, I realized that my grandfather was out of it. I want you to realize,
Jesus
Christ, the JMB is out of it. He out of it. You know, I want you to understand that JMB know that you cannot build road in 3 months. That shows that he out of it. That shows that his cognitive ability is diminishing.
Kev, no, Kev, don't do that. I disagree.
Can I finish, my man?
No, I disagree. You can't do that.
Kev, finish.
Disagree.
Kev, you got it right to
No, you
finish.
can't do that, Kev.
No. Chairman. Kev got to speak. He's a panelist.
Yeah, no, but he can't.
That's a low blow.
That's a
Let me say something. That's not been fair. You can disagree with Kev when you speak.
Yeah, let me finish. When you can't disagree with me. I'm telling you, the day I spoke with my grandfather, he started saying things that I know my grandfather was sharp enough. Was I saying certain things? I knew his cognitive ability was diminishing. And then we start to have that discussion. It's time for the Liberian people to have the hard discussion. If JMB do have the cognitive ability to be president, how can you build or stop car in 90 days for stuck in the mud? How can you look at a real picture and say it's a fake picture? When you start to go down that line, when you start to feel that way, we realize we'll need to have the discussion. Go on TV, America. When you see things happen, that's where they start to prescribe a certain medication for you. That is a fact. The other day, 2 days ago, Biden had an interview. You saw Jay Tappe was helping Biden, even though Biden have everything. But when he wanted to say some stuff, who watched that interview? Jay Tappe have to end the speech for him. We knew that the age is telling on Biden. That's a fact. He need to step aside. So all the things that Mariah just lined up, I just want my sister to know that we have to have the tough discussion. I'm not going to hold JMB responsible. I hold the age. As you aging, your what happened? Your body diminishing, it coming down. You know, so we have to have that discussion. And the Liberian people need to understand that JMB is not ready. He's not there again for prime time. The man say, "Oh, Lofa were producing food. Oh, this, oh that," but he was fired as agriculture and minister. So when you listen to everything that Mariah said and something that we listen to, I was not looking at it to play politics with this. If anybody play politics with JMB interview, then I think that person is not being fair. What we need to do is to sit down and have the discussion, call our Unity Party brothers and say, don't do that. If I had direct line to the children, I would say, let's have the discussion. Do not put your father in this situation. It's a fact. So go back. I urge everybody, go back and listen what JMB is saying. Look at the misstep. This man was born smart. This man was born intelligent. This man is an intelligent guy. It's not the this guy who that's coming to politics by the way, but by making those statements tells me that we need to speak. We need to talk to him. Something not connecting. The mind, your electrical appliance in your mind, in your brain, is slacking. I'm talking medical here. Let any medical doctor dispute what I'm saying. As you age, your cognitive ability is diminishing.
Okay.
People need to face the reality. People need to face the reality. How can a man who know Ben? How can a man who know dignitaries from America, somebody who he met before, that he called him taxi driver? Come on. Let me tell you this. When I was doing my clinical in the psych unit, when I met this lady, what she told me at that time, who was the president? The lady told me that Reagan was the president. She told me Reagan was the president. I knew it's a problem because she looked a lot. But we have things that we do check. A lot times 3, times 2, times 4. And we check your cognitive ability, but we know what was happening. So I'm not saying that, what I'm saying, it's not being disrespectful, but JMB is losing it. It's a fact. We need to accept it and have the tough decision, make the tough decision. And let's sit down and talk about this.
Okay. So
listen to the interview and make your judgment. Who build all the roads in 3 months? Man, seriously. And if anybody come and tell me that JMB is a liar, I will be brutally against you. He's not a liar. He's just having a misstep. And when you have a misstep, we need to have that tough decision. And the tough decision, he needs to step away. He needs to step down. He don't need to run. Let us carry our country. He don't need to run. He needs to step down. And I will call him and I will speak to his children. Let them advise the father to step down. He needs to. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Can I go ahead? First of all, Kev, I disagree with you. And you are entitled to your opinions, which is we all are on this show. And I think, Stanton, we can make it very clear that those opinions.
Stanton, I thought Ben said you were enjoying Kev again.
No, now when he start going to, yeah, exactly. You know, we all are entitled to our opinions, and we have a right to disagree with him on it. I do not believe that the former vice president is losing it. I do not believe that he has cognitive, whatever word that Kev used. I think there is a way we can all disagree, but I want to be very clear. I think he did have some strong points in the interview. I think there were some inconsistencies in the interview, like probably any other candidate probably would have. But I want to state for the record, you know, Kev, I don't think that was a fair analysis. Again, I respect your opinion. I disagree with it. That is your opinion. So I just wanted to state that for the record, you know, but to say I do disagree with Tommy Lee that I don't want to sit here and say, oh, that it was flowery. I think it was a good interview because it allowed him to come off and explain himself. Like Mariah said, it was a relaxing environment for him to go ahead and explain. There was some period where I saw him exuding some confidence, where he talked about you need to start getting ready. I think he said something about you need to start getting used to calling me president or something like that. Those were moments in which I thought, you know, he was exuding some confidence. But to say that, I don't think on the issue of a 100-day,
that's a delusional thought.
No, but let me finish now. On the issue of his 100-day in office, I will let the Unity Party people explain that. It's not my job to explain what he meant. I don't believe that you can fix all the roads in 100 days, but maybe he has another explanation to that. But I will state for the record, I think when I met him, when I get a chance to when I see him, I see someone who is sharp, who remembers things. I don't agree with Kev on that notion that this man is, that this man is losing his cognitive ability because he is, getting older. I thought I just wanted to get on the record with that. Thank you.
So let me say this, guys. It's important for me to address this because.
Still, you gonna be the last?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Look, I listened to the interview. The former vice president. It depends on how you. Not everything he said. Well, like I agree with it, especially when it comes to the road issue. I know you cannot. It's impossible to make road possible in 100 days. But he said some strong things, and one of his strong points was about corruption and about holding people accountable and ensuring that people will be prosecuted based on audits and so forth. Was the strong points he made. And take it or leave it, I have a high respect for this former vice president. He served this country well, former ambassador, former minister of agriculture, he knows his story. I respect him a lot, and take it or leave it, he'll be a formidable force in this race. And as of today, you see him, he's the leading opposition in the country. I want to describe it. Whenever he appears somewhere, he garner attention. He went to District 4 the other day. I saw him in District 4, and people came up to see him again. Whether you say he's a human magnet, I don't know, but he's a powerful person in the Liberian political landscape. He's someone that I believe at the end of the day, you can never tell. He will be a strong force in the race. So we should not just push him aside and just show him any kind of disrespect. I respect him. I would never question his ability. I think if he's elected president tomorrow, I think he will lead. He will lead effectively. But we should not just question him and just denigrate him at all. I don't think it's fair to him. We should respect all the politicians. I respect for all the politicians that are running for president, and so we should hold them and we should respect them and encourage them to make their case to the Liberian people. But to just bring them down, dismiss them, I think it's unfair. So let's see what happens. We're going to see, as I told you, stand on today. But many of these parties come up with a running mates. Then that one we'll start getting involved with the real analysis about them, because right now. You don't know who will be Vice President Parker running mate. Mr. Cummings, you don't know who will be his running mate. Mr. Councilor Gonglo, you don't know. Even Mr. Kasser, you know who will be a running mate. All these people that are involved. Even Madam Cooper, we know who will be a running mate. So until we see these tickets form and come to the surface, you just got to keep on discussing the issues and waiting for that time. So for now, it's an open race right now. No one thinking they will win it 100%. It's an open race. Anything can happen. So let us wait and see what happens in the next few weeks and coming months. Thank you, Chief.
Mariah, you want to add anything? I know you said a lot about VP interview, but you heard what Kev said.
I think, like I said, when Kev was speaking, I think that's insulting. Again, we can disagree with each other's positioning. If Kev is talking about the older you get, the less, I guess, engaged you are as a person, and it's true. Vibrant 40-year-old and an 80-year-old, they clearly don't have the same energy and the same stamina as we know. But in terms of assessing the vice president's mental capacity, I think we should leave that for the doctors and the psychologists to do. So in that regard, I disagree, but I do agree with Kev that the older you get, the less vibrant, the less stamina you have, the less you're able to handle stressful, tedious, and demanding positions. And we know for a fact that the vice president said, as a result of his campaigning, in 2017, in the rigors of the campaign trail and the political process, he had issues with his heart and had to do a surgery to get a pacemaker in his heart. And he said that on national radio. And so we know that the older you get, when you get involved in very strenuous and hard activities or energy related activities, it does affect your body and your system. So in that regard, we had, there's the facts and then the opinions. And I think Kev's issue of his mental, his cognitive abilities were opinions on of the stress on his body and on his heart. Those are facts that he provided to us, that he does have a pacemaker as a result of the last elections in campaigning, which took a toll on his body. And at the time, he was in his, I guess, mid-70s. And so given that information, that go into the next elections with a pacemaker and having the issues that he's explained and told us about is a bit concerning. Now, the other thing also is, look, at the end of the day, it's the Liberian people's decision to make. And, I've called on President Weah to resign because he's unable to carry out the duties of the presidency. And he's shown consistently that he's incompetent for the job. And so it's Kev's right to call on the former vice president to step aside if he thinks he's unable to carry out the duties of the presidency. I'm not going to bash him for that. But I think on the issue of the former vice president's mental capacity, that's something we should let the doctors determine. And if there's a need for presidential candidates to release their medical reports to the public, that's their choice, that's their business, that's their personal information. That's for the Liberian people to know and for the doctors to determine. But I think one of the things we need to ask ourselves, in all of this is when you are going through this process of where you want the country to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, in the next 20 years, had estimated that for a post-conflict nation to develop or to get past the point of being called a post-conflict nation, it takes 25 years of consistent development. And we saw that we went 12 years, and then we've had the last 5 years of just retrogression. And we haven't even hit, by 2023, we should be hitting our 20th year post-conflict since we signed the Accra Peace Accord in 2003. But look at us as a country today. We're hitting 20 years post-war, and it's almost like we just got out of the war 2 years ago. So we're so far behind that we need rapid development, rapid growth. We need a country that is moving forward, not backward. We need a president that will be on the ground, that will hit the ground running, that will be across the world, making sure that our international relations, investors, private sector business leaders, developers are coming into the country, that Liberians are getting a feel of. I remember I was getting out of high school. I just graduated from high school, Madam Sullivan, in 2006, and she got inaugurated. You could feel that surge of new energy in the country. You could feel people coming back home with renewed hope and vision for the country. You could feel there was something moving. There was something happening. We don't have that in Liberia anymore. It's like a dead end. You go to the country, there's a sense of distress. That's not how our country should be. And so 2023, it's time for us to decide what route do we want to take. It's time for us to decide what direction we want the country to go into. It's really time for us to make those hard decisions. And all of these people in the race, we should critique them. We should talk about the pros and the cons or whatever it is. But when we get to that ballot box, that decision is ours to make. And we should make the decisions in the interest of the country. And that's really all there is to it. It's not about people's opinions. It's really about the decision we need to make for the country.
Anthony Mora, Yakula, Chairman Ben.
10 seconds. Let me say 10 seconds. I want to clear the air. I'm not trying to disrespect the former vice president. I do have respect for him. But as we're speaking right now, Democrats are discussing whether Joe Biden will run for the second term. Reason number one is age. They are discussing right now. You follow the news.
So
His
okay,
age.
let me wrap this thing up, brother.
They doesn't believe he does have that ability.
Kev, let me wrap this thing up, please. Let me wrap this up, guys.
Right now, you see,
Kev,
we have to discuss it.
Kev Hassan, pay attention to me, I beg you. Let me wrap this up.
Yes, sir.
Let's stop this. Let's stop this. You know, come on. On the show and so many show out there, people say what they want to say. Kev is right. They are saying that Joe Biden shouldn't run again. That's not our Bible say that. People are saying he's being forgetful. And worst of all, he can stutter. He dropped his paper yesterday, Jake Topper pick it up. Guys, this is politics. Kev is no friend to Mr. Cummings or Jose Yima Barker. He really don't want him to win. He wants Josh Manawia to win. If the GMB team come up and tear Josh Manawia, that's fair game. I would not sit here and say the JMB is forgetful. I won't say that. I won't sit there to say JMB have dementia. No. I won't sit there that he have the worst cognitive problem in the world. No, I won't say that. But you know why? Someone that running against him will say what they want to say. This is real-time politics. No disrespect. Let's stop pretending that Mariah want JMB to win election no more. She doesn't. She will not disrespect him. But she will speak on the issue, the policy. And comes 2023, you'll find some ANC folks saying the worst about JMB. And UP folks have already said the worst about Mr. Cummings. Where are they? When the very same Kev Hassan said Mr. Cummings was a gay, some of them were celebrating. Where were they? When the very same Kev Hassan attacked Mr. Cummings the worst way that ever, UP folks were celebrating. Come on, guys. After 2023, brothers and sisters will reunite on that next Thanksgiving Day. They will go for Thanksgiving dinner. They will make up. They will laugh, and they will hug each other. Right now, I will not say what Kev said because I know JMB is strong. I know JMB is sharp. And I know JMB will make the case when you sit before him and ask him questions. But you don't expect Kev to say the otherwise. I would say to you, it's politics. Chairman Ben know that. He know they went in the gutter for Charles Bronski. He make a lot of enemies and continue to make enemies on the show. Timon and Josh know that. Most recently, folks came to express themselves. Michael Law, our brother Joe Solo. People blame Timon. It wasn't Timon. This not for it's politics. So if you are hurt because you're a supporter of JMB, I don't think this show me we say JMB and ask JMB, he's forgetful. No. But if opposition say it, opposition to JMB say it, don't take it personal. It's all politics. Step up his game. Make him prove them wrong. The leaders themselves will brush it off. Don't go under your feelings. Kev will be Kev. Mariah will come and attack Kev, attack Josh Banner. We had just 2 days ago, she was calling them TV roll. Don't you think you're hurt to look at President George Weah, Nathaniel McGill, Samuel Twe, and say TV roll, and the wife and the family sitting and listening? What better is that? Because it's election season. The same Mariah will go sit down where Carol's great and it will start chilling tomorrow. It's election season, guys. Let's get all of our skin. Let's have a great show. To each his own. We are entitled to our opinions. And I think that's what makes the Spoon Talk to be the Spoon Talk. We want to say thank you, Anthony Yakula. Thank you, Santimon and George. Thanks, Chairman Ben Sevi.
You asked me about the
Philip we said memorial is
what I just sent it to you there.
All right. So the Federal Reserve Memorial. Go ahead. I'm not understanding. When is it?
It's this weekend in New
Do
Jersey.
you have the flyer or where, time, everything? Is Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday.
Okay. I think it's the Good Shepherd Memorial Church in Woodenboro. The Good Shepherd Methodist Memorial Church. I think that's the location. It's on the Vancouver Highway or the Levy Park, one of those streets.
Yeah, man. You master that place. You know that address.
I live here for over 20 years.
All right.
So that's why it is. It's in Woodenboro. We got to go and wish the family well. Again, we want to say on behalf of the network, Sister Pla, we say sorry. Yeah. Mariah, you want to talk to us about your upcoming convention this weekend?
Yes. So the convention, the ANC Global Convention, will be held this weekend in Baltimore, Maryland. I will be there in person. Looking forward to meeting, everybody. Friday there will be a welcoming meeting, get together. Saturday is the main event. And I'll just give you just 1 second, the information here. Let me pull it up. And then Sunday, there'll be church service. And then on, where's this thing? Yes, I know. Yeah, give me 1 second.
All the liquor finish, all the liquor store. I know. Yeah.
In Maryland, right?
All the
They
liquor.
got it.
So they put out, they'll go drink. All they go do.
Yeah, they can.
I want to buy my NGCX, so they say go. I say where? I say Baltimore.
But I mean, not be easy.
No, so actually, to money the address to the memorial service for Mrs. Lisa is Levy Parkway and Charleston Road, the intersection right at the back of the full mat. It's the Methodist Church, St. Paul Methodist Church. All right, we want to say thank you guys for the correction. So, folks around here.
Watch when can I get make up my.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so the event will be Martins West, Baltimore, Maryland, the venue. Friday, which is tomorrow, will be welcome registration. Saturday, we'll have a business meeting, and then the fundraiser dinner at 7 p.m. Sunday, there'll be church service.
I hope y'all will start on time this time around. Carolina, y'all didn't start on time. You started late.
Are you going? Answer the question.
Yeah, I'll be there, but I hope it's start on time.
We'll start on time. No, but it's going to be a really fun event.
Will you be here, Chairman?
Yeah, it's still deciding.
Still working?
Yeah.
What time is it? I
gotta go. I got Minnesota next week again.
Yeah, so you gotta balance it out.
I gotta balance it now. So I gotta
I know I'll be in Maryland. I'll be at Kev Place in Tumani and myself.
I'm coming to see you, Kev. So just tomorrow I come and see you. But for those who are interested in attending, you can email ancglobal2022@gmail.com or call 301-300-1039 for information.
You don't call the number again?
301-300-1039. And please get your tickets. It's from $100 up to a full table for $2,500. Yeah, we've actually been able to raise $30,000 in tickets.
ANC not to raise money,
So it's
how much you raising Charlotte? How much you raising Charlotte? How much you raising Charlotte the last time?
Inshallah, I think
200,000.
It was
200 change. Yeah, 200 change.
And the reason for that Kim must say you're staying in the temple.
But I tell you what though.
Hey.
I was done in
Right, he's looking for you tonight. I just
What was done in Charlotte, they said Maryland would not be like that because you guys will have a low turnout.
We'll see.
No, seriously.
I mean, ANC, whether they get low turnout or not, they both get played.
No, it's what I told you. Listen, I told you, Tiola said it was very hard to sell the ticket. So instead of $50,
Yeah, Kev said
they were banjoing the ticket for $25.
Kev said he saw Tiola walking on the street talking to one.
On the street.
He said, are you going to ANC program?
Without risk, close to 30,000 in ticket sales alone.
Wait, you're not risk close to 30 without even the program?
Yeah, in ticket sales.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, what is 30,000?
Y'all gotta show some other party that I don't
What is 30,000? You know how much it costs? You know how much it costs Mariah, Mr. Cummings, and the rest of them to come here on business class?
They put the money where the mouth is.
Yeah, but what is 30,000, Mariah? It costs Mr. Cummings, Mariah, and the delegation to come here on business class. 6,000 for each of them. That's 30,000 gone.
The ordinary partisans of the ANC and supporters putting the money where their mouth is, and they've done it consistently. You know, I know a party had a fundraiser online recently. And
what if we're getting Velmina as ANC can raise money? I mean,
but that's the fact.
If somebody asking me who cares how much they raise, like what?
But let CDC go raise money. This is the election time. Mr. Cummings,
CDC, I want to raise the money. The money is in the budget, in the
in that budget.
Wow, don't do this. Guys, let's go on the show because Mariah want to go different places. CDC money is in the recast budget. They only raise it.
You raise money the other day.
You be raise money too?
Yeah.
$1,535.
Oh, that much the raise?
Yeah.
You are there?
Tomorrow send me the clip. We play. Hold on, let me play.
Happy birthday to my president, man. My Netherlands president, Winston Hope, today is his birthday. Our young president. And yesterday was Dr. Gina Azayo from your father, Flex Azayo. And lastly, please keep my sister in prayer, my dear Joshua. She needs your prayers.
Yeah, she's not well.
Yeah, we fasting and praying for her, so just keep her in
You
prayer.
fasting? I saw you eating just now. You fasting?
I broke my fast when I left the show, 6 o'clock.
Oh, you get fast?
Yeah, 6 to 6. She's not well. She fell off here, so we're praying for her.
Okay.
Somebody you get fast?
Yeah, I fast, my man. I fasted today. I fasted.
See, man can fast. No, that's it. Man can fast.
All right, guys.
So you can fast on a very serious note, though.
Come on, man. I'm a Christian on a fast, man.
Right. We pray that your program is a success. We pray that you guys, gave the best you can, and we hope that.
You in Maryland, Mariah?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you can't
be arriving the bar.
Business.
Mariah will be arriving the bar.
Mariah, they feel you're
Mariah, you look refreshed.
Mariah can talk about gender and family issues.
Mariah, you glowing. You look refreshed.
Ben, you leave her alone, Ben. Be careful.
Mariah, the car was parking too long, right?
I see her.
All right, I see you.
No, I see him, man. Bye.
What I want? Yes, what you got today? Yes, what you got today?
When you discover your values, it will help you recover from your past. In Union Council, as the show, we've got above our rights to prove we over or prevail. With hearts and hands, our country cause defending. We meet the foe with valor and pretending. Thanks to the team for that splendid presentation. My name is Rufus Divine Connor. James Goody Flomo is on the other end, and I serve as your sound coordinator. Until we have the time again, it's God willing on tomorrow. For my end, this is how we say goodbye on the show.
To get your information,